Oh, yeah. Let's do this. Let's just do this. How about that? Yeah. Let's get right into it. We're not a radio station anymore, so I'm not gonna announce the songs that are free use songs that I'm playing anymore. How is everybody? How's everyone doing today? What up, Arianthe? I see you over here in the Discord.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh man. So the AWS servers are down. That's the Amazon something servers, web service. Yeah, the Amazon Web Service is down, which means Streamlabs will not let me multi-stream. And that means we're just doing this here, like this. We're just doing it this way.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And I've been thinking about doing it this way for a minute now. I found a really nice workflow where maybe the gaming streams, we can do like some long-form stuff on Twitch, say whatever we want. Again, just to clarify, say whatever the fuck we want. And then I'll edit it and then put it on YouTube. Monetized presence on YouTube. The YouTube algorithm's crazy with the editing, and it's just nonstop. It feels like with the YouTube nonsense. What up, Deb? Heck yes. Should we rabbit hole today? Should we yay or nay with some rabbit holes? Should we just discuss some cryptids? We could do another cryptid roulette. We can. The world is our oyster.
Yeah.
I made a very clickbaity title. So.
Oh, did you?
I did. Is Trump going to jail?
That's a good one.
Yeah. So I guess we can start there. We can just hop into some juiciness if we want to. Let's see. I might keep it here like this though. I'm not mad at this little setup I have going for the news. I don't think I want to. I'm going to keep my full screen stuff set up for, me totally not ripping off the Game Grumps. Don't worry about it. Maybe I'm doing things Game Grumps style now. Maybe that's just how I roll. Maybe that's the sustainable business model. I'm tired of censoring myself. If I can't smoke and swear,
It becomes a problem because sometimes I have to smoke and swear to deal.
Yeah, there's some stuff we talk
about. I've been
about.
really, really sick for the last 2 weeks, and if I didn't smoke and swear, I'd probably just start, I'd end up in jail.
Yeah, there's no reason to not say whatever the fuck we want, not have to worry about, the permanence of YouTube, and, into it. Man, my distribution bill came up, and I gotta pay it with my next paycheck, and I'm not excited about it. Yeah, but hey, it's worldwide distribution on every music platform, so I get a good deal.
Well, there's that then.
And I mean, technically, Merc TV paid for, what I mean, what it's taking from me, because I had...
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all self-sustaining. It's just the way I had things tiered. Boy, did I mess my bills up the last couple of months.
Oh, no, same. When I moved, oh my gosh.
One
When I
thing
moved, everything
can
just kind of went upside down.
yeah, it can throw the whole chain in disarray. Like it can make the whole thing crazy. Oh.
It was worth it. I mean, getting out of where I was so worth coming home.
Yeah.
However, I kidnapped Justin for the weekend, and now he's... Dang it. I don't know where he is, but I don't want to talk about his business, but I kidnapped Justin for the weekend. It didn't go as planned.
Well, and shout out Justin. If you're on the Discord, you saw him in the Vent and Scream, and yes, he had a positive COVID test. Our executive producer might be down for just a little bit. He'll get back to feeling better. I know it.
I don't know how he got it and no one else did. Derek and I were with him all weekend.
Hey, this new variant is so weird. It's so weird.
But why did it pick him? And so, he's my little baby. And so, he comes back with a positive COVID test. And I'm like, how do I fix it? What do I do? How do I take it away?
Yeah. I think I got, when I had COVID, I think I got it from the local water. I was quarantined. I didn't, I hadn't exposed myself to anybody I hadn't been exposing myself to for months. And one of them being an unvaccinated dude I did a whole podcast with. You know what I mean? He never got it. I'm pretty sure I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure this is it. Yeah, it came from the water. I don't know how. I don't know why. I might sound crazy for saying that, but I think it was in the water. They got chemicals in the water turning the frogs gay.
It turns the frogs gay and it gives everybody else COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe COVID is how they turn the frogs gay.
Ooh, probably.
Conspiracy hole.
Maybe it's the activity of gay frogs that makes you know what I mean? New reporting that just you think Trump is going to jail?
No.
I don't either. It's kind of
I think he has too much money to go to jail.
Yeah. Very fair.
And he still,
Very
he
fair to
still
say.
has a really heavy following, and so no, I don't think he's going to go to jail.
Yeah, I hope he does.
Oh yeah. That's not to say that I don't hope that he does. I hope he does. But I mean, this is a man who moved to Florida and was handed an office that has a plaque on it that says the office of President J. Trump.
That is very true. That is very true. Damn near moved the capital to Mar-a-Lago. Who does that?
Yeah, I kind of wish he would.
Who does that? Why?
Kind of wish he would,
that?
and then I can just do something else there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hope we can get people popping over to Twitch. Again, I am, as much as I don't like Twitch, I'm a lot more comfortable doing what we do with news and stuff there. Mm-hmm. And this gives me time to still do daily releases on YouTube, but also stretch it out. We're really gonna make some stuff, lady. I'm excited.
I'm stoked about it.
I'm glad to hear you feeling better back on mic.
I'm before I couldn't even talk without coughing, and so I was like, I'm just gonna be a nuisance.
Hey, I feel that. I also, my voice, since when I came back from the hiatus, I'm still tooling things out with the microphone setup. We're going to recut Lux's ad read. If anybody watched the release of Merc Plays on YouTube, Lux does the ad read. And the only thing wrong with it was my microphone quality. That was on me. Yeah, that was on me. I got a good take from her and everything. No. Yeah, yep. She almost needed no direction for the take. It's real simple. I just needed a 10, 20 second ad read.
Boy, I've been there.
And it was the mic. And then I messed it up with the mic. But gonna get this figured out. Gonna get it worked out.
Yeah, I know. I keep sending her links. I'm like, hey, my friend's doing this thing this week. Do you want to go? It's a free webinar. And she's like, you're hilarious.
Oh.
I'm trying to push her to go bigger.
She's
bigger than just ad reads.
Yep.
I'm like, don't just work for them. Work with me.
Yeah. No, I'm also couldn't be more supportive and into her. Like, I keep bringing it up in almost a nauseating way. Like, if there's ever anything to toast for, and they're like, what is this about? It's like, oh no, Lux doing VO. That's what this is about.
Hell yeah.
That's the future right now for us. I'm excited. But
I almost kind of tried to guilt trip her into it yesterday. I was like, we need more powerful women voices like yours.
yeah.
And I was like, I knew that was going to get her.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah.
The industry needs all it can get, and she's got the young voice, she needs to use that, like use the young voice.
And even going on, even without having a young voice, because I can manipulate my voice into sounding like a child. But I think what VO is really missing is a lot of, the almost 30 or 30-year-old women with women's voices.
Yeah.
Because every single woman that they put into something is like this,
Yeah.
And it gets old. It gets old having to do that constantly.
This cat has been on a warpath this morning.
Mine too. Is it something in the air?
I think, yeah, maybe it's just the moon. And she's not being...
Seriously?
She's not...
My cat straight up jumped into a bowl of cereal.
Oh, goodness.
Like, as we were eating it.
Like, looking for pets, though? Because that's what this cat's doing. Like, nothing aggressive, nothing weird, doesn't want food. It's just like, hey, pets, love me.
No. Yeah, it wasn't like I'm going to wreck your breakfast. That's Caden in the background. He's been sick, too.
Oh, poor bud.
It wasn't like I'm going to wreck your breakfast. It was like hey, I want you to touch me, and I'm going to force it.
I'm going to make you touch me.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you touch me. That's how this cat's acting, too. Like, no, you're touching me. Like, oh, okay. Yes, I see you. Meow, meow.
I see you, and I get it. I hear you. I hear what you want and need from me.
Yes, attention given, cat.
It doesn't help when you have an attention deficit disorder.
Okay, let me get another window capture going. Another thing I'm liking about this Twitch stuff. Again, not monetized, not having to worry about replayability. Guys,
Yeah.
I haven't even started recording whatever our YouTube release for tomorrow is gonna be. Because that's how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do...
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna like if we want to do cryptid roulette here in a bit, just you and I, that'll be tomorrow's release. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
fuck yeah.
Like now we have all this freedom, all this daggum freedom. I'm gonna delete the Safe for Work channel. No point in having that anymore. No point.
'Cause fuck it.
We might as well move to the business.
And I can say that 'cause I'm here.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, just fill my window with windows is what I'm doing. I live in pop-ups.
Me too. It's
And
okay.
there's also the occasional meme that pops up in this screen too. It's a whole vibe.
I always have the script to the right and Audacity to the left, and yeah.
Oh yeah. See it, but workflow, man. Workflow.
Yeah.
All about finding that workflow.
To find that noise reduction, you got to pull up the whatever you call it to the microphone so you can make sure that your levels are all right.
Yes. If Allie wants to pop in here and us talk back end for an hour, like I love to do with Allie, because again, I love more than making content. I love talking about making content. I really do.
I love Allie.
One of my favorite things in the world. Now we got all the room, no stress, no video to kill, just freedom. And I hope all of you can have that. I see now why Hassan does it this way.
Yeah.
What
It's
up,
worth
Hassan?
it.
It really is. It's
a little more chill. I like it.
Yeah. Twitch also finally fixed their chat stuff. It's not as nauseating as it used to be. Like, I don't have to worry about bouncing people out of the chat. We make sure the actual the chat is working, though. It's not because, let me tell you.
Them emotes, though.
Because of the chat box. Hold on. This is, a whole thing. Look at that. Yeah, where's the source? I don't want it to be multi-stream anymore.
That's my I'm still sick face.
Oh.
Still sick and doing ghost tours, by the way.
Dang. What?
So come see me and leave me a tip because my throat has had it.
Oh my gosh.
Don't clip that.
Back on the ghost tours, man. Back on the beat.
Oh, I mean, the day I got home, Steve called me and was like, hey, can you come to the office? I was like, what?
Oh.
Sure. And so I did, and here I am.
Dang.
That being said, if you ever want to deep dive into space, I have a meteorite man that says that he will come talk.
Yes, I definitely do want to deep dive on space, and hella want to take him up on that. That's like, and I want to do a whole like interview. I want to get him some plays. I want to have plug time. I want to have all of that. I want to do all of it.
Yeah, it's something that I think would be nice to record roundtable style.
Yeah.
And then edit and then get rid of it onto the internet.
Right. Yes, exactly.
It.
It's a good idea. All right. Nope. It looks like the text, having any chat on screen just isn't going to work. Weird. Part of this AWS.
I can see it.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, I see the box, but I don't see anything in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Well, nice. I can actually chat from the. Okay, so they've fixed some of this functionality between Streamlabs and Twitch, which is really nice because
that is nice.
I got to get my tentacles on here though, because where are they? Where's my tentacles? I don't have my emojis set up on here yet. Oh no! Where's the other part of the tentacle? Why would they do this to us?
There's my gay guy.
Why is this happening? Alright, well. I'll do it from my phone then, Twitch. Fine. Fine then.
You can tell me what to do.
Yeah, fine then, Twitch. I have it open up for the phone to do admin stuff anyway, but it looks like maybe I'll be able to also do admin and mod stuff here, which... So you and I are set up.
Yeah.
But
I used to, whenever I streamed on Twitch, I used like the OBS, and it always had a spot popped up where I could mod the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Which was really necessary when you're a female streamer, dude.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
It's not fun.
I couldn't imagine. Just the females that get attached to this channel. It's like, God dang. The stuff you'll have to deal with sometimes. Like, that's why I'm so quick to like report now and
here's the thing.
Tell people to go on.
I will figure out what your name is. And I will find you on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And every dick pic you send me, I'm sending to your mama.
Yeah.
Or your sister or your wife. They really love it whenever I send them the dick pics that you've sent me.
Ooh, the wife move is a good one.
Your girlfriend.
That's a good one.
Hell, one time it was the boyfriend. I will send them. I will forward them to whoever is in your life. I don't know who you are, and I will send them.
We have a particular set of skills, and it's letting sketchy dudes' girlfriends know that you're creeping on everybody.
Hell hath no fury like a pissed off woman.
Yeah.
So don't send me pictures of your penis. I do not care.
Oh.
They all look stupid.
They do.
I will make fun of you.
You seen one, you seen them all.
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing they ain't seen, man. It ain't about the angle of the dangle, bro. It's about the charm and the chicken parm. Can you cook? How about that, gentlemen? Use your words more. So weird. Men are weird. Men drive me nuts.
I had a guy send me a picture one time, and in the background you could see his pile of dirty dishes, and I was like, does this work for you?
Is that really how you're trying to present yourself, friend?
You didn't try and show me your weird curved ass dick, and then you're gonna show me all your dishes in the background like I'm getting two bad things. I gotta treat you like a child, and you have a weird dick.
I only send dick pics with my dick on top of Homer's Odyssey, like my hardback of Homer's Odyssey, to express that I'm a man of culture.
Oh my god!
I'm a well-read individual. I read at least this book, and now I keep my dick on it. Oh man,
that's my biggest flex.
Yeah, like there's if it was truly an impressive one, you've already sent it to your homies, and you're not sending the picture you sent to your homies to the lady. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is, I'm kidding. I don't think I've ever. No, I've probably been close enough with some dudes. It's like, look at that.
I know. I've seen you pull your dick out in front of people.
Yeah.
So like, don't even.
Yeah, I have.
Don't even.
I have, and will do that. I've yeah. What do you get?
It was me who was modest in those moments and was like, okay, I won't look. And you guys were just like, I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're in this circle.
Do you know how many times I say this very openly, and if they're in the chat, they can call me out on it. How many times do you think it has been that I have seen yours, Brandon's, Dalton's,
so many times,
just for no reason?
No reason. We'd also just pull our balls out.
Yeah, because here's the issue, right? Like I have 5 brothers, and so I wasn't always really good friends with girls growing up. And like I played sports, and I was on the football team, and so like I was, and I say this is with the least amount of pick-me girl as I possibly can. I was like one of the guys, and so nobody cared when I was around. When I was around, you just acted like boys.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I was like, wait. My brothers don't just whip their dick out in front of me.
Why are you guys doing that?
I'm so confused.
Hey, the movie Waiting happened.
It did, yeah.
Also,
and I worked at a Chuck E. Cheese when that movie happened, so
yeah.
I'm sorry to everyone who was there. I saw some weird shit.
It became a whole thing, I honestly, as a gag on my friends, pulled my nuts out until I hit like my mid-20s, and then, then they grew into some low-down sloppers. Like, I don't...
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, I got some triple D sloppers, and it sucks. Like, I've had a urologist tell me, like, you need to support these. Like, dude.
Do you make like a nut bra? What do you have?
He's like, you just tighter underwear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ew,
he's like, you need to wear something that supports it. Yeah, and I can't, for my disease causes like issues where the fabric touches my skin there. Yeah. So I can't wear tighter underwear.
Okay, just let them hang.
Yeah. Nah, no bra for these girls. Like they do their thing. Pendulous.
Free the titties and the nut.
Yeah. I shake
I'm so glad we're on Twitch.
Oh, me too. I shake what Abraham gave me nowadays. If free balling didn't mess me up, I'd do that. But no, I'm functionally supposed to wear loose fitting cotton all over my body, which is weird. But
do you ever get them from like those really cool Amish roadside stands? They have the best everything.
No, I need a big hat. I'm trying to get a big like white cowboy hat. And not like a straw one, because I'm out in the desert. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Because the first thing I thought of was like Very Odd Parents.
Yes, a dimmadome. I don't need a dimmadome, but I do want just a white. I told Lux yesterday, actually. I was like, you can't laugh at me when I get a big cowboy hat, because at some point I'm gonna go with you to Texas, and I gotta fit in. So I'm gonna get a big ass cowboy hat. I might wear it on stream at some point. Sunglasses, big ass cowboy hat.
Do it.
I'm in Arizona. This is how we do it in Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson.
This is how we speak in Tucson, Arizona.
And then whenever people ask you where you live, do you ever tell them that it's the Dimsdale Dimmadome?
I live in a Dimsdale Dimmadome. I got my own ranch.
In Arizona.
I got my own ranch. It's called Bootytopia. It's my ranch.
We have a lot of alpaca.
Only alpaca.
Only alpaca. Well, there's the one goat, but he thinks he's an alpaca.
We're an alpaca exclusive ranch. We have one emu, and it has an attitude. Don't look at it.
His name is Emmanuel.
If you look him in the eyes, he will kick at you. It's a problem. One problem emu and a bunch of alpacas. One incredibly dehydrated dog that doesn't do anything. That doesn't help at all.
He's like 35.
Yeah, he just
dog's like 35 years old.
lays on the porch in the shade.
You think he's dead until you accidentally touch him.
Yeah, you got to say like,
you're like, oh shit, it's squishy.
Fred, and then Fred kind of twitches. You're like, oh, thank God. I can't lose him.
You better not name that porch puppy Fred.
I love naming dogs.
You better not.
I love naming dogs just people names.
Mine are people names, but mine are like indigenous people's names.
I like that. I go Anglican, like biblical, middle of the road white person name. Fred.
Yeah, so if you're gonna get an emu, you need to name it like Emmanuel.
Yeah. Like I'll get a hella impressive dog and name him Jim.
Should name him Richard. You call him Dick when you're mad.
Yeah. I had a boss that's how it went.
Yeah.
He'd when we were mad, he'd be like, just leave us alone, Dick. Like, but most of the time it was Rich.
Rich.
And then pretty sure he turned out to be sketchy as hell.
Oh, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
That was my dude at Lindsay.
Sorry,
That was like he did something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure was preying on young men.
Oh no.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm not his demographic, so yeah, I wouldn't know.
Oh, you're not his demographic.
Yeah, I think it may be too old, long in the tooth for that guy. You know.
I worked for a guy one time that really, really, really loved teenage girls.
Oh.
And there was a lady that I worked with who was like mad about it, and it was so weird because she wasn't even mad at him for being a pedo. She was mad because he didn't find her attractive, and I was like, I think you're missing the point.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Women are weird.
That's wild.
I'm sorry.
Man. Guys, fingers crossed we hit affiliate pretty soon, by the way.
I think so.
On
I
Twitch.
think we will.
Yeah. I think, we keep this up. It looks like we've got enough, myself included, in here to maybe hit that 2. How wild would that be? Hitting monetization on a platform where you can still be crazy and just watch, like, MasterChef. Like, you can just watch MasterChef. We can have watch parties on Twitch. Twitch doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, if they do, they care afterwards, and that's whenever they pull your shit.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, which is fine as long as I can get through it. I sat and watched just Christmas movie. We had Twitchmas on my channel one time.
Oh.
And we just sat and watched Christmas movies while I decorated a tree.
See, that's what
Of course, I celebrate Yule, and so it was like on the 21st, and we opened gifts together.
That's cool. See, I'm excited for maybe, things like that. All of our dreams coming true now. I don't know why I was so stuck and sold on like having to stream to YouTube, but post-COVID, the audience is gone. Everyone went back to work.
Yeah, we kind of, and hopefully we don't ever have to say he who shall not be named name again. I don't ever want to say that name again.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm thankful that he brought in such a cool audience. We got a lot of really cool people, but I don't ever want to say his damn name again.
Oh, yeah. No. And well, I mean that's frequently with people I've had when we were live streaming and everyone was home from their day job,
Yeah.
There was too much, like, yeah. But I mean, everybody popped off then. Everybody had more plays through COVID. And all of the big streamers, even Markiplier, like, has less now. Yeah. There's less of a need to live stream all the time.
Yeah.
No one's there to watch. No one's tuning in. And then the replayability is dead because it was 4 or 5 hours of, like, you had to be there live stuff. So, F that. F that.
Fuck it.
The times they are a-changin', and Merc, formerly radio, now TV, changes too. But what is today? What are we bitching? Are we making... I mean, we can functionally make a whole new show now if we wanted to, Arianthe.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
I have the concept of News Dump, and I have a playlist built for News Dump on the homepage of YouTube, but I don't necessarily have like a format for it, nor do I really care to keep covering the news daily.
It just... There's a lot of news, and it's always sometimes. It's always the same thing over and over again, and sometimes it just gets old.
It just gets old. Like, I'm burnt out on it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing that I haven't read over and over again was like somebody was diagnosed with polio in New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop it, anti-vaxxers.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Like that. Just stop, anti-vaxxers, please. Vax.
Stop it.
Yeah, we can do anything, can't we? On Twitch, I don't have to worry about the stream dying or falling apart.
Right. I'm waiting for someone to come in and be like, you can't. Yes, I can.
Yeah. Now, one thing what got us a little pop in plays and brought in some new people were rabbit holes.
Yeah.
People like us talking about an online mystery. Oh, thank you, Deb. Thank you. Yes, I've been making a lot of art. I've been doing a lot creatively. It's really... Can you tell my editing setup is back? Like I had to redo the entire OS for my like studio setup. Oh, yeah. And then I had to we moved stuff around. So now I've got this new space. And when you get a new space, it's like putting your easel in a new spot by a window.
Yeah.
I have a whole new kind of landscape to play with and area of sound to get used to. So there's been a lot of art going on. A lot. But I've been in a very like Dali influenced surrealist thing where I'm doing collage work and a lot of editing and post on that art. Like I'm putting more of myself into this next Merc project than I ever have. And it might not stay Merc. I don't know. I might move the music side to a new name or something like that, or just...
Are you branching?
I think I might be branching off slowly, or just making less popular. You know what I mean? Less poppy, less lo-fi beats to study to, a lot more ambient soundscapes or psychedelic rock stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm going in more of a... I'm just letting my subconscious do what it does. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm using a few tools to help me build walls. I'm using a few AIs to help me, set up a BPM or something real simple. And then I just let my mind do what it does over it. Whoosh, let it happen. Real fluid.
I like it.
Yeah. But time consuming in the way that I have to be graceful with my inaction. There's times where I very much want to be musically productive, but I'm forcing it. It's, you know what I mean? I've had an idea in my head all day and I'm trying to get something out and it's not working. And I know that I got to cut this riff's throat and try again tomorrow. And there's, I have to be in the flow state of there is no try, only do. Like I just do. Like, if I'm not there, I'm not there. Does that make sense? If I'm not in the flow state, I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm either winning at Fall Guys or I'm losing. Fall Guys has been fun. Man, that's a fun game. I've gotten good at it, Arianthe.
Yeah, I was watching you last night. You got really good.
I've gotten good at it. I don't even play it all that often, but I'm also pretty killer at Fortnite. Like I have a stream stash somewhere where like I made it to the last two. I made it to like second place, like 3-4 matches like in a row. Like I can kind of crush it. And I was like level 1 Fortnite. Like I don't build stuff. I don't just grab the occasional weapon and hide. Sneaky, be a sneaky boy.
I like it. I don't know. I'm so bad at Fortnite, so whenever I watch people, especially people that I know that are good at it, I'm like, oh shit.
There's a weird methodology I use to it. Like, you have to kind of really hope that when there's still high numbers in the server, like when the game's still kicking people out or people are getting killed or like hitting the storm or whatever, you're really not worth a lot of people's time. Like if you just kind of like hide and are sketchy or like find a cover real quick and like just dip, a lot of people just piss off and just go away from you, and then you just wait until it's tighter and tighter and tighter and you're in a tighter radius and it's like, all right, I have to gunfight this dude. Like I played one round of Fortnite where I didn't shoot until I was at the last guy, like it was just me and one other guy, and I didn't shoot a single round until then.
That's always what I hope my games are like. I'm always like, just give me I can't take on a whole bunch of people because I'm not good at FPS. But if you just give me this one dude.
Yeah. Yo, Debbie, no worries about being off of Discord for a while. I too get bogged down with notifications between Discord and Facebook and Instagram and stuff. you'll watch me flow between which social media I'm using. It's got to be frustrating for people like Gary Anthony, where it's like, where am I going to message him to get a hold of this fucker? Like,
Yeah.
okay, I just saw that he
people have
posted on
the same
Instagram.
problem. People have the same problem with me because I will regularly turn off my notifications.
Mm-hmm.
I have to. If I want to get anything done, I have to turn off my notifications. I have to excuse myself because, the problem is I excuse myself but I don't tell anyone.
Yeah, I had to turn off notifications on Instagram when Merc first popped off, like the first Merc record that I promoted.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that almost broke my phone. Like,
Yeah.
that was thousands of
Oh my
notifications.
God, I bet.
That was insane. Like, that was like the first record that I released for like that most successful thing I've ever done. Like, holy crap, that was scary.
I
Scary,
bet.
scary.
I bet that was a lot. Gets overwhelming, I'm sure.
Well, I had to wake up early and get on a golf cart, and I used my phone to get work orders for the job I was working.
Oh no.
So I still had a situation where my creative life and my professional life were very separate, working very different fields, and I don't think I can go back to that. I really don't think I can.
Yeah, no, that's probably a bad deal.
I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and even when I just talk to the people around me, it feels like I'm networking further and further into my creative life, and it's like my creative life and this professional life I'm building are the same thing for the first time in my life.
That's a good thing.
It's so cool. Like, it's
Yeah.
made me want to be so productive that I feel like there's not enough hours in the day. So I might create content and records until I die, young and quick. Like, just kill myself with creativity. Tried to send a video of daughter's boxing match, but file was too big. Oh yes, Deb, Discord's weird with the with sharing video. I think I have to go Nitro for the video shares.
Yeah, if you post it to to YouTube and you put it as like unlisted, only people who have the link can watch it. So you could post it in Discord and show everyone if you wanted.
Yeah. There's gonna be some. I'm gonna roll out YouTube memberships at some point, and there's gonna be some content that's gonna be like that, just for members.
Like a Patreon.
Mm-hmm. Just like a Patreon. There's also going to be older content, like you'll have access to the lost tapes if you're an official Murky on YouTube.
We have a ton of lost tapes.
Yep, a ton.
Just me and you.
Just me and you. There's also like the entirety of you know what we got out of the tattered map. There's that kind of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that's like gonna disappear into unlisted off the channel. Like if it wasn't a big popular like algorithmic boost post, I'll probably
Yank it.
be a member. Be a member if you want to see this.
Yeah.
But still release all the time, you know. What is today? What are we talking about today? You know,
Oh man.
things I watch on YouTube, nerd channels. I'm a nerd.
Things I watch on YouTube: unsolved murders, cryptids, and local legends.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to go down a weird rabbit hole, I can send you down one.
Oh, I mean,
There's the Delphi murders.
have we done the Delphi murders though?
I don't think so. I think maybe we've touched it, but I don't think we actually like dug into it.
You know what we do have though? We actually have a new Eric Allen video. Hold on.
I'm into it. Let's do it.
The Alex murder. We do have an update, and it's just yeah.
However, before I was doing this, I was laughing at a Amber Heard interview.
Fair. Very fair. Very, very,
I was
very
just
fair.
getting annoyed. I was getting it because I guess my oldest had never seen the part where she was like, says the attorney for the man who convinced the world that he had scissors for fingers. And now my child is 12, right? And he's going on 13. He's getting to be an old man now. And so we have this thing in my house where like you can cuss, but if you cuss at me, we've got a problem.
Yeah.
I will snatch your ass up, you know? Yeah. And so she said it, and he went, what the fuck is she talking about? And I was like, yeah, dude, I know, that's what everyone else said too.
Yeah. Welcome to the club, brother. We feel the same way. I'm glad it translates that way to a kiddo because
He just looks so confused.
in no world does her side of that make any sense.
And
She's so
you know,
nuts.
she follows it up with like, I'm the performer.
And
he's like, yeah, you're still doing it. It's just everybody knows that you're performing because you're bad.
yeah, and
Gosh.
no, but when Johnny Depp said, how do you think she got the part in Pirates of the Caribbean? Or not Pirates, how do you think she got the part in Aquaman, sir? It's like, ooh.
It felt so good, didn't
Yes.
it? Like, I wasn't even there, and I was like, ha, got her. You know?
Him laughing at the, when
Megapine.
him laughing at his own audio recording of him saying, Aquaman.
He was so drunk, and it was really funny, and I feel awful because I know that I perpetuated that behavior. We all celebrated that addiction.
Oh, yeah.
However,
That
if
was
he's
pretty
going to
funny.
laugh at it, I'm going to laugh at it too.
Yeah, if it was funny to him, yeah, it's funny to me. I mean, that was Aquaman. There's
Aquaman.
I need a soundboard of it really bad. Really
Okay,
bad.
so I have it. I clipped it, and I have it. It's my text message notification.
Oh.
So when I get a text message, it goes Aquaman,
Aquaman.
and it makes me laugh every time.
I am okay, gang. Let's watch this Eric Allen video real quick. Let's check
do.
this out, lady.
This episode, I
I'm not
traveled to the
gonna-
coastal island of Hilton Head.
I'm not gonna record this either, but this is the next part in the series that we had streamed and reacted to.
Russian mafia in South Carolina. Well, yeah, because ain't nothing else in South Carolina.
You know, there's actually a lot of other gangs. I don't know why he's focusing on the Russian mob. So I'm interested
Yeah.
to see why, because I found every other gang in that area, which is weird.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
But nobody would. Well, that's why. That's why they're there. Is because you go. That's weird.
Yeah. Like,
Well, yeah, that's why they're there.
well, they must be smuggling or,
Yeah.
so, you know, we know it. We watched the history of that area in South Carolina being like a smuggler's haven through like the 70s, like for some shrimp
Through
boats.
those hills, yeah.
Yeah. And, and you know, it's right on the ocean. There's those little
Right.
islands. Alex Murdaugh owns a couple lots on an island.
That's not sketchy.
And, well, you know, the theory would be that he's smuggling with the help of this other guy, who is funny enough, an ancestor or a descendant of somebody who used to moonshine or like alcohol run with Alex Murdaugh's grandpa. So it's a whole like web of he probably was involved in the crime of that area, and then also the defense attorney for those criminals.
Oh no.
Yeah, and we know he was fraudulent with like if you died on his properties, like here's how we're gonna do this, and you'll get paid out. And he just keep the money. He just like open a settlement against himself, pay it out, and then keep like a bunch of money. Yeah, it was so weird. Keep an insurance payout. He got busted for all kinds of fraud. But why the Russian mob? Because I found all kinds of Crips, Bloods. Like I would think probably Italians before I thought Russians. I wonder why. I wonder what heat this dude found.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
To dive into the mysterious story of a wealthy couple who disappears without a trace.
The note read, "This goes deeper than tennis. Stay on it. There are more people involved."
Were they murdered? Were they in witness protection? Did the Russian mob hire a hit? As the days, weeks, months, and even years passed, more questions seemed to surface than answers. Questions involving strippers, secret gambling houses in wealthy gated communities,
Strippers.
a potential execution staged as a suicide,
Dang.
and a few names you've likely heard before if you're following the South Carolina Murdaugh saga.
I mean,
Hilton Head is a 12-mile-long
Certainly.
barrier island on the southernmost coast of South Carolina in Beaufort County. If you followed my Murdaugh coverage at all, you know it's the same waters Paul Murdaugh and friends were boating around in just a few years ago. Hilton Head is a really unique place. It started becoming developed in the 50s and 60s when a man named Charles Frazier bought land to create the community of Sea Pines. Charles had a vision of Hilton Head being a premier vacation destination, but also wanted it to keep its cozy, natural coastal vibe. Essentially, he didn't want it to turn into the next Myrtle Beach, which is a very touristy and developed beach on the northern coast of South Carolina. With
Myrtle
this vision in
Beach.
mind, the town set strict ordinances. You'll never see a tall sign on Hilton Head. Buildings must be painted in earth tones as to not stick out too much. Any tree with a diameter over 6 inches needs a permit to be cut down, even on your own property. When the iconic Harbortown Marina and Lighthouse were being built, Charles Frazier refused to have the large oak tree on the property cut down and forced the builders and developers to work around it, in spite of the extra cost everyone involved would incur.
Wow.
That large oak tree is called the Liberty Oak, and when Charles passed away in 2002, he was buried next to the tree that symbolized his care and vision for the island. Hilton Head sees lots of tourists, especially in the summer months, but also has a mix of wealthy retirees, locals, or people with second homes that live on the island for parts of the year. It's 2008, and just across the marina from the Liberty Oak and Charles Frazier's resting place was slip number 83, where a boat named the Yellow Jacket was docked. The Yellow Jacket was owned by 47-year-old John and 45-year-old Liz Calvert. They had married in 1988 and lived in Atlanta, but after John semi-retired from working for several power companies, they bought the 40-foot yacht named after John's college mascot and lived in it part-time. They also owned a home in Savannah, Georgia, where the offices for the law firm that Liz worked at were located. John was known to be a perfectionist, full of ideas, and to treat his employees like family. John owned 4 businesses on the island, one of which operated the Harbortown Yacht Basin, another that managed 125 vacation rental properties on the island, and 2 water sport businesses. Liz worked as an attorney at the highly regarded Hunter McLean law firm in Savannah, Georgia. Everyone around her knew she was incredibly smart and quick-witted.
Law
Another
firm
lawyer
connection.
At her firm described her as, quote, just first class, as a person, as a lawyer. She cared about the environment and loved animals.
So much B-roll of
A bartender
cranes.
at the Crazy Crab, a restaurant in the
Notice
marina,
that.
was quoted saying the Calverts were as nice a couple as you could hope to find. This sentiment seemed to be shared by much of the employees in the Harbortown Yacht Basin. Another worker who took reservations for water sports said, quote, if Liz is out walking her dog on a Saturday morning, she'll come in here and just sit and talk, shooting the breeze. And a dock hand at the marina said it wasn't unusual for the Calverts to join her and other employees for a cold beer after work. From all accounts, they were genuinely kind and good people. There was a lot of cash flow going through John's businesses, and they utilized the services of a local management company called the Club Group. More specifically, the man who did all of the accounting for the Club Group, Dennis Gerwing. Dennis had been on the island since the 80s and founded the Club Group with a friend of his. He had relationships with many of the most influential people on the island. Dennis was also friends with John Calvert, and they would sometimes have nice dinners or drink expensive wines together. Dennis did have a different reputation than the Calverts among some on the island, though. The same bartender who spoke so kindly of the Calverts earlier was quoted saying this about Dennis. If you had money, he liked to talk with you. But if you were just a regular bartender or a waitress, he wouldn't give you the time of day. One day, when Liz was going over the
he only
books,
liked
she
wealthy
noticed
people.
some irregularities, some numbers that didn't seem to work out right, and it looked like a substantial amount of money might be missing. Whether it was a mistake or not, they decided they wanted to end their business relationship with Dennis. They meet with Dennis a few times over the course of the next few months, and every meeting he claims that he'll be able to bring in some papers that explain everything. On March 3rd, 2008, another meeting is scheduled to take place. They plan to meet at Dennis's office in the Seapine Center, just down the road from the Harbortown Yacht
Is the
Basin.
audio sounding okay
Shortly
on this
before
stream,
making her
gang?
way to the appointment with Dennis,
Yeah,
Liz spoke
I
on the
hear it
phone
fine.
with her good friend
Okay, good.
Terry. She had been telling Terry about the financial discrepancies. Terry remembers jokingly saying, quote, "You better meet him in a public place." Liz laughed and responded that she wasn't worried. John arrives at 6 p.m. and Liz shortly after. But John and Liz weren't seen for the rest of the day. The next day, when both had missed scheduled business appointments and when neither could be reached, Liz's brother filed a missing persons report with the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office. It was extremely uncharacteristic of the Calverts to even be late, so to miss a meeting without warning was genuinely concerning. Some friends went over to the Yellow Jacket and let themselves in, but found no sign of John and Liz. and no sign of any struggle. News started spreading around the island that the wealthy couple was missing. This type of thing was not something the cozy coastal island was accustomed to, and as the days passed and the Calverts didn't turn up, the residents became more and more on edge.
And their disappearance has the community buzzing.
Everybody just wants to know a little bit more than what's being told.
It just doesn't make any sense to us. They're just terrific people and really have enjoyed working with John and look forward to working with him in the future.
The officers assigned to the case were Detective Angela Vaines and Detective Bob Bromage. If you're following the Murdaugh case, there's a few people in the story that you might recognize. Bob Bromage, for example, is now the spokesperson for the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office, so he's brought us a few updates on the Murdaugh case since it all started to unfold. The detectives seemed to get lots of tips about where the Calverts could be found. For example, a man called anonymously saying that the bodies of the Calverts were in the 500-gallon grease trap at the Quarterdeck restaurant at Harbortown. They went out, drained the entire thing, and searched it top to bottom, finding nothing.
A lot of people that we're interviewing, and we have many more interviews to conduct, and that's going to be ongoing for several more days.
But some tips were helpful, and it wasn't long before they got their first lead. The friend who spoke on the phone with Liz before their meeting with Dennis contacted the police about the situation. When the police looked into the timeline, they also found that shortly after the start of the meeting with Dennis, all digital activity from the Calverts stopped. When the investigators arrived at the club group offices to interview Dennis, he welcomed them back to his office, the same office he had met the Calverts in just a few days prior, their last known location. Dennis cooperated and they chatted for a bit. One of the investigators wrote in the report, "I noted he had 2 cuts on the web of his right hand. I asked him about the cut, and he advised me he cut himself on a wine bottle." The cuts looked like they could be slide bite, which is a term used to describe cuts received from the slide of a handgun, often happening when improperly holding and firing the gun. The police questioned Dennis for about 4 hours, and he claimed that he had met with the couple for about 15 minutes the day they went missing, but they said they needed to leave early to get to dinner. A few days later, the police reach out to Dennis again. They want another interview. Dennis, realizing he's probably now a suspect, decides to hire a criminal attorney from the neighboring town of Beaufort, Corey Fleming. If you're new to the channel, Beaufort is actually where I live, and if you're following the Murdaugh story, you've heard the name Corey Fleming many times.
Yeah.
Corey was Alec Murdaugh's college roommate, Paul Murdaugh's godfather, Connor Cook's attorney after the boating accident,
Oh my gosh.
the attorney for Sean Connolly, who was a name brought up in the death of Stephen Smith, and the attorney for the Satterfield family after Gloria passed. If you haven't watched my Murdaugh series yet, then I'd highly recommend watching it after this episode, as you'll get to see some of the connections between the 2 cases. The links to the videos are in the description below. Fleming obviously advised Dennis to cut all communication with the police, but on March 8th, the police obtained a search warrant for Dennis's home in the gated community of Hilton Head Plantation, his offices in Sea Pines, and his 2 vehicles. In his house, they found a shovel, muddy shoes, and a holster for a Beretta pistol, but the pistol could not be found. They looked through the trash, and while there was trash from several days prior, there was no broken wine bottle to support the statement Dennis made about the cuts on his hand. Dennis had told the police in his first interview that he went directly home after his meeting with the Calverts.
Yeah, you got.
But during their investigation, the police found that he had actually gone to a CVS,
He
purchased
lying.
some bandages for the
Why
fresh
you always
laceration
lying?
on his right hand, as well as some
He's
latex
lying.
gloves, before driving to a gas station to buy a lottery ticket and get gas. Just prior to the meeting with the Calverts, Dennis had purchased 3 heavy-duty drop cloths at the hardware store. His cell phone was turned off for about 11 hours following the meeting with the Calverts, so it couldn't be traced. The day after the Calverts went missing, Dennis drove his SUV to an auto shop to have the vehicle completely cleaned and detailed. Evidence seemed to be piling up against Dennis, and not just from law enforcement. When Dennis's business partner, Mark, heard that Liz was concerned about the finances, he immediately contacted Dennis and told him that they needed to hire an outside auditing firm to look at the books and clear their name. Dennis agreed. They hired a firm, and the audit was scheduled to start in the following days. It's March 10th, 7 days after the Calverts disappeared, and the police make an announcement. They are officially looking at Dennis Gerwing as a suspect in the disappearance of John and Liz Calvert. The following
As
day,
they
a prayer
should.
vigil is held at the Liberty Oak for John and Liz, and many gathered to pray for their safe return. Right down the road, while the prayer vigil was being held, Dennis was found soaking in a pool of blood in the bathtub of the Swallowtail Villa in Sea Pines,
What?
just across the street from his offices. He apparently
What?
had taken a steak knife, slashed himself multiple times, and bled out. There were 2 suicide
All right
notes
then.
found. One written in pen on a bedsheet that wasn't really legible.
What?
Damn.
What? That is some guilty behavior right there.
Yeah.
I think we all know what that dude had on his heart. Oh my gosh. Whoa.
And another in an envelope that included financial details.
Don't live in South
about
Carolina.
John's business,
There's a
as well as
conspiracy,
confession
and it's
that he
will
swore
get you
to
killed.
them. There was no confirmation or denial of being involved in their disappearance. This was a high-profile case, and an article I found in the Beaufort Gazette described the scene this way, quote, "Top law enforcement officers, 14th Circuit Solicitor Duffy Stone, and others arrived at the condo in a blizzard of blue light and blaring sirens." Solicitor is South Carolina's version of district attorney, and Duffy Stone was elected in 2006, taking over after 3 generations of Murdaughs held that position for almost 100 years. Stone was there not just as solicitor, though. He was actually a known friend of Dennis Gerwing. An investigation into Dennis's records uncovered that he had taken a total of $2.1 million from the Calverts and 7 other of his clients. While the case is technically unsolved, the police believe that Dennis killed John and Elizabeth Calvert at their meeting on March 3rd before moving their bodies to his SUV. They believe the next day he drove somewhere within a 5 or 6 hour radius and buried the body along with the murder weapon, most likely the missing Beretta handgun. Though
What?
aerial, canine, and dive searches were conducted, to this day the Calverts have never been found. In November of 2009, John and Elizabeth Calvert were legally declared deceased. While it seems
Yeah,
easy
this
to
is
conclude what
crazy.
happened and Dennis's motive for the murder, some people speculate that it may not be so simple, as some of the circumstances around Dennis's life and suicide could suggest there's a lot more to the story. When a news crew that was at the prayer vigil down the road heard about Dennis's death, they drove over to report on the scene. As they were leaving, they found a note placed on the news van.
The note read, "This goes deeper than Dennis. Stay on it. There are more people involved."
So how much more is there to this story? Let's start with the alleged suicide. Found in the villa downstairs on the counter was a half-drunk bottle of wine. Seems to fit Dennis's MO, as he loved wine, but those who knew Dennis knew he loved red wine, and the bottle found downstairs was a bottle of white, leaving suspicion that someone else was there. Dennis's body was transported to the Medical University of South Carolina for an autopsy, where it was ruled a suicide. The head of the school's autopsy department, pathologist Dr. Aaron Presnell, said in an Island Packet article that they generally look for certain things to determine whether a death was a suicide. She said, quote, "With suicidal sharp force injuries, you don't typically see any defensive injuries. You also could see different non-fatal sharp force wounds."
What?
She was pointing out the fact that Dennis didn't show any signs of a struggle with another person, only had the cuts on his body, some of which weren't fatal. If someone killed him, she believed there would be a struggle and defensive wounds to show for it, and the killer would likely only inflict cuts intended to be fatal. And
Yeah.
Dennis had what she described as hesitation cuts. But
God.
Aaron Presnell has had some controversial rulings before, not just in the public's eyes, but in law enforcement's as well. If you're following my Murdaugh series, she was the pathologist that ruled Stephen Smith's death a hit and run.
Oh.
Here's an excerpt
Oh.
concerning Aaron Presnell.
This lady
from
triggers
my
me.
video on Stephen
She's the worst.
Multiple agents
Then she
in
took an
Howler Patrol
attitude.
tried to speak with the pathologist in an attempt to understand why she disagreed with the coroner. Here's an
What?
officer's report. "The reason I went and spoke with her was due to a preliminary report where she stated that the victim was possibly struck by a motor vehicle mirror. which
Yeah, this
was the
makes me
cause of
so
death.
mad.
Sergeant Moore had already had, from my understanding, a heated conversation with her about this issue.
Mm-hmm.
She stated that she could not even begin speaking with me about this case without the coroner's consent. I advised her that I had spoken with Coroner Washington the day before, and she basically called me a liar, and she said she would call him right then. When I asked if she wanted me to call from my cell phone, she backed off. I asked her why she stated that in the report, and her answer was because he was found in the road. She had no evidence other than that for the statement being put in the report. I asked her if someone with a baseball bat could do that, and she stated no. When I probed further, saying, what about someone in a moving car with a baseball bat? She stated, well, I guess it's possible. As I was leaving, she stated that the report was preliminary, and it was my job to figure out what it was that struck him, not hers.
Wow.
So at this point, it seems clear that it wasn't a gunshot wound that killed Stephen. It was blunt force trauma. However, the circumstances surrounding the blunt force trauma were still very unclear. And because the pathologist ruled it a hit and run, the highway patrol ended up in charge of investigating what everyone but the pathologist believed to be a homicide. Back to Dennis. Here's a diagram of the bathroom he was found in, provided by the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office, and an excerpt from the police report. Quote, the adjacent small bathroom contained a stand-up shower with a full-length glass door and glass wall. Perfectly clean. Opposite the shower was the sink. Abundant dried blood covered the entire top surface of the sink.
Whoa.
With additional blood noted on the front of the sink cabinet and large drops of blood on the white tile floor.
A hell of an
The
attack.
entire floor, from the
Yeah.
sink area to the bathtub, was totally covered with smeared, dried blood, with approximately 7 to 8 alternating footprints, similarly sized, approaching the bathtub. The rather short, deep tub contained the decedent facing upward, lying upon the apparent bedspread. The body was unclothed. Both legs were bent at the knees. The entire top surface of the tub was covered in dried blood, as well as the decedent's body. The right arm and hand was covered with extensive blood. Linear, streaming, small blood droplets were observed on the wall behind the tub, to the left of the decedent, extending up the wall above the tub for approximately 12 inches.
Whoa.
The wall to the right side of the decedent and tub revealed a much larger stream of blood droplets, extending upward in an arc approximately 4 feet in length. These droplets formed an arc from the top of the tub near the decedent's head, upward over a large picture and continuing further upward towards the feet. End quote. Essentially, there was blood almost everywhere. Lying in the tub near Dennis's right hip was a steak knife with a black handle.
Whoa.
Dennis had multiple large and deep cuts on his body.
So we
One
can all
4-inch cut
agree
on
that
his
this
inner
was not a
thigh,
suicide.
2
I
2.5
mean-
inch cuts on his left wrist, a 2-inch cut on his right inner calf.
Why would he be
and
cutting his
lower neck
legs?
had 2
For the
deep
carotid,
gashes, one
or whatever
measured
that
over
artery
5
is.
inches, and another that measured over 6. Essentially, it looked as if someone had cut his throat twice. Dennis's brother, who saw the photos, said,
See, cutting his throat, it's the
wounds on
throat that
Dennis's
has
body,
me.
when you look
Can
at
you
them,
do
it
both?
doesn't make any sense.
I
It was
mean,
a very vicious attack, much deeper than you would learn from just reading the autopsy report.
Because
Okay.
also those
Anyone-
splatters can happen from your body if he was in a state of, we know he was in a state of, he was
Yes.
excited. So that blood would be pumping, and when you
Yeah.
cut those arteries, they squirt. So
yeah, but if you're not, if you don't get to those arteries, I don't know. I mean, clearly it did. It said
Yeah.
that the wounds were really deep, but those are, I mean, that would almost leave you.
Well, here's the thing too. With
You
that
would just
amount
bleed
of
out.
blood, there's gonna be footprints that aren't his.
Maybe, yeah.
No, 100%. I mean, I don't see how. I mean, there would be evidence of a body. You know what I mean? Like the squirts would even seem in a way that somebody was there to block them. You know what I mean? Like there'd be incomplete patterns and stuff. Where
I mean, I want to
body
say
was.
this isn't a suicide, and I guess at first glance it's easy for me to say that, but then like I go back to, I don't know if you know who they are, but I don't know if you ever listened to like death metal, black metal. You ever see the movie Lords of Chaos? Okay, so you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
then.
Euronymous and Varg Vikernes. Is who
Yeah.
that's based off of. Yeah.
Well, I want to go back to like Dead. Dead cut his own throat before he shot himself in the head.
And it's like, no, there's no way that can happen. Well, that one they know there was other people involved. Like,
Yeah, but the
yeah.
story they sell.
yeah. But this is like, I have a hard time there would be other footprints and forensic evidence. I feel like even just in the way they wrote that, it's like this does kind of vibe to me like a very messy, hesitant suicide where he obviously cut himself at the sink and then walked to the tub and then kept cutting himself open.
Yeah, why was there a bedspread though?
Because people that are acting that crazy are crazy.
Like, why the hell you got to make that big of a fucking mess?
Yeah, because he's wealthy and doesn't care. You know,
That's true.
He's
yeah.
wealthy and doesn't. He's in a hotel room, and hotel rooms. This is how it happens. Again, I've worked in that industry, and that's where wealthy people choose to go. You know, for them, it's like going out in the yard, and there's people there paid to take care of it, and it won't upset their family. You know,
just
it's honestly a really shitty thing to do.
I mean, it just ruins the hotel staff's lives. That's fine.
It really I've got some crazy stories of, things I've been through, doing overnights and stuff like that, where it's like, it happened on my, while I was here. Or like,
absolutely.
Stuff where it's like there was a firearm clearly discharged in a room, and now it's a whole thing, and I'm the only one there. It's such a shitty thing to do. So again, if you guys are out there, call someone, get help, talk to someone. There's 1,000 hotlines. Call them, talk to somebody.
Or just call me.
Feeling
and
like
I'll come
harming
get
yourself.
you, and we'll get some chicken nuggets and call it good.
Yeah, and if you are at the point that you're going to do that, don't go to a hotel. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't involve everyone else, man.
Yeah, talk to people first. That's not a clean place to do that.
Can stand that pain. The SLED report said
Another real just like quick fun fact is hold on. Let me go back a bit. Where the hell was I? Here we go. I want to go back to this. Another quick fun fact. Most housekeepers in the industry are Spanish speaking and Catholic, and they have to have a priest bless that space before they go clean it. So you're not doing this isn't like something where they can clean it up quick and move on with their lives. Like sometimes it can take weeks to get housekeepers to go back in that room, And just a weird thing that people don't necessarily, it's not something I knew until I was in that industry and was like, why won't they why do I gotta go in there? They're like, because the priest hasn't been here yet, bub.
Had 2 deep gashes. One that measured over 5
See,
inches.
but Arianthe, here's the one that gets me. I don't know how you can do both sides of your neck like that. 2 deep gashes on the neck. He's already hit his arms.
Right.
So, which one was first, the arms or the neck? Because at some point you're messing up how you can move and how deep you can actually cut and how strong you can perform. So,
well, I mean, even if you do get deep enough, and it sounds like you did to get that artery in the leg, then damn.
Yeah. The leg, this seems like it was something he did in there, and that's probably maybe where the squirts came from, or maybe it was his arm and he switched hand. I don't know, but this is
well, is he left-handed or right-handed?
Oh man, not even sure.
See, these are things I need to know.
Right. The swallowtail
passed
bills.
out. Why the coroner doesn't make more of that, I don't know. I've got to believe there was some other party involved.
Ooh, Deb hit an artery once and blood went everywhere.
Take
Yeah,
drugs,
that's weird.
Make it look like a suicide.
I've had finger cuts that just
The
squirted up to the
Russians may have
ceiling.
wanted him out. They could have fed him the drug and made it look like others did it. So, who are the Russians that his brother is talking about? To answer that question, let's take another look at the life of Dennis Gerwing. As the police kept digging, they found that Dennis was a regular at the strip club on the island, at the time called the Diamond Club, now called Cheetah. It was at the Diamond Club that he met Russian stripper Laura
Like the Cheetah
and
girl?
began an interesting relationship with her and her husband Rob.
There's
Close
a
friend of
problem right
Dennis
there.
sent a statement into the sheriff's office after his alleged suicide. Here's a few
He
excerpts
wasn't
from
ready.
that statement. Since Dennis's death, I've been racking my brain, trying to figure out why someone so smart and so comfortable could take his life. I noticed some changes in Dennis over the last few years. At Hinoki, a restaurant on the island, one night a few years ago, Dennis let me in on his little secret. He was seeing a married woman and had been seeing her for a while.
Oh.
Her name is Laura and her husband's name was Rob. He told me that she was a dancer he had met at the Gentleman's Club here on the island. He said he had been apprehensive to tell me about her as he didn't want to ruin our friendship. I told him that we have always been great friends and I would never judge him. As long as he was happy, I was happy for him. I didn't want to judge, but it was a very strange situation. Rob knew that Dennis was seeing his wife intimately and supposedly supported it. Dennis and Laura would travel together, and Rob would fix some dinner when they returned, like it was completely normal behavior. Rob would call Dennis to chat like they were great friends. I never told Dennis, but I didn't trust these people. I had a bad feeling about them and didn't really want to hang around with them. Rob was scary to me. The only time we all spent an extended period of time together was on a trip to the Kentucky Derby. He said he was in special forces and described how he used to kill people. Laura seemed to have some sort of spell over Dennis.
No.
In July or August of 2007, we were having dinner at Hinoki and the conversation got a little strange. He told me that he was going to help Rob and Laura start a business with Laura's uncle or father. I can't remember for sure.
Weird.
He said it was an export business where they would buy old cars and send them to be sold over in Kazakhstan. I said I thought that sounded a little risky, and what did he really know about her uncle or dad? He said he had researched it and it looked like a good investment. I didn't like it. Later on, her statement ends with this. I started getting phone calls from friends around 5:30 p.m. Tuesday evening telling me that Dennis was dead. It was a shock then, and it's still a shock to me today because I know Dennis and he would never kill himself. I know he did, but there is too much mystery around this whole suicide and Calvert disappearance. I don't trust Laura and Rob or anyone involved with them.
No.
I feel like they're involved with everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of this will help, and I will try to remember anything of importance and pass it along. The more I look back, I really believe that Dennis kept things vague for my protection. So what was up with the export business to Kazakhstan? Locals have speculated for years that this was a drug or money laundering front for the Russian mob, and possibly they were using the cars to conceal money sent back to Kazakhstan. On March 3rd, 2008, just hours before the Calverts disappeared, Dennis asked for a favor from an employee of his. He said he needed her to drive his car and he would drive his SUV to the local airport so that they could leave his car there for some friends who were flying in later that day.
Hey, wait.
So who are these friends?
One more time. What does this man do for a living? What does Dennis do?
He's just retired money, isn't he?
Just retired money. So he's seeing a girl whose husband claims he was special forces.
And Russian mob.
But everyone describes Dennis as a really smart man. Mm-hmm. A smart man would not have to hack it himself 5-6 times to die.
Well,
And chances are, if he's that smart, he would have done it with medication because he had the money to just buy it.
well, I don't know.
However-
I don't see it's still not that many cuts, honestly. If you think about how many cuts you would accrue in a struggle,
Seven.
normally that hits up in the double digits minimum when there's a struggle involved, just little cuts on the hands, stuff like that. And another thing is there would be up to 7 if it's hesitation cuts. Like again, I don't like the medical examiner, but she is right in that there's, even if you're intelligent, that's a big thing to do, and that's a crazy way to do it. And he had
a clear toxicology.
Well, and he wanted to be messy. He wanted to clearly make a point with the way he died. I think it might have been maybe more a statement at Laura. You know what I mean? I think they're involved for sure, but I think more with motive as to why he killed himself. Because
I can see that.
I definitely think it was a suicide. And now, again, why? There's something that happened to him. He was either about to get busted, threatened to get busted. Something was going to happen that was going to threaten his...
But they said he had a clear toxicology, yeah?
Yeah.
Or have they mentioned the toxicology?
I don't recall the toxicology, but I think they said something about it being clear, but...
Okay.
I would imagine...
Maybe that's why I don't remember it, as they were kind of like clear toxicology, blah, and just moved along. I will say, though, I have seen other instances of people who claim to have been special forces who weren't actually in special forces.
No, yeah.
Kill people in a way that looks similarly.
Mm-hmm.
Because they think they know what they're going after, and they don't.
Well, and I just don't think there was they had too much money to make with him being alive and funding stuff and banging his wife. I don't think Rob would off him unless there was something gone awry. You know, like
Yeah.
there's something that has gone awry. And I think, again, like whatever went awry caused Dennis to just off himself before Rob would even have to.
Unless he had told Laura that she was in his will or something.
Yeah, you know, something like that. And I guarantee he didn't leave any of that to either of those two people.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was probably again, more of a message or a point to Laura. Like, when you kill yourself in a messy way like that, there's a reason. There's a reason. He left a note too, so I want to hear what Eric hasn't read the note yet. I want to hear what the note says.
Could they be linked in
that
any way
first.
to this
Yeah.
export business to Kazakhstan? Could they have played a part in the disappearance of John and Liz or the death of Dennis? The police did do an investigation into all of the planes that came and went that day and could uncover nothing of significance.
Yeah, because there's
Another
nothing.
of Dennis' vices was gambling. It's confirmed that Dennis regularly traveled around the country to gamble.
Here we go.
But rumor around the island was he also attended a private and secretive illegal gambling house in the upscale gated community of Wexford.
Here we
and
go.
more rumors claimed that he even flew to Russia a few times to gamble. I couldn't substantiate
There
any
it
of these
is.
rumors, but when looking at information about the Russian mob and the rest of
He was broke as a fucking joke.
There it is,
That's
yeah.
what it is. I mean, he didn't have anything left, and he went out all messy. Like,
this story in the
this
context, I
sloppy
can see why
gambler.
people would think those rumors might have some validity to them. When looking at the
Yeah.
Russian mob activity from 2001 to now, I read, quote, around the world, Russian mafia groups have popped up as dominating particular areas. Russian organized crime has a rather large stronghold in the city of Atlanta,
Nah.
and Russia was branded as a virtual mafia state, according to the WikiLeaks.
Atlanta and South Carolina
Remember,
have some
Atlanta is
smuggling
just a few
ties.
hours from Hilton Head, and is where the Calverts
A lot of those gangs from Atlanta, Georgia, are also up in South Carolina in these small towns, which is, you know, weird. But if the highway is the Russian mob, if the big money is the Russian mob, then yeah, you have these, what I call, you know, pariah states underneath those big mafia structures. You have smaller mafia structures that just show up and do crime off of their little black market, off of their highway. And I think that's okay, so now I see why he's saying Russian mob. That is kind of the mob infrastructure from, you know, in these wealthy circles anyway, because the Russians are supposedly running these gambling houses.
lived for years. Here's a bit more on an arrest made in 2017 to give you a better idea of how the Russian mafia operates. Keep in mind, we know Dennis embezzled millions. And he was involved with a Russian stripper to export.
He embezzled millions too, so there's another financial thing that's like, okay, so he's not actually wealthy. He only wants to talk to wealthy people because he wants to gamble with wealthy people. He thinks he can game wealthy people out of their money. Wow. Sorry, Dennis just turned out to be quite the shitheel.
Scumbag.
Yeah.
Used cars to Kazakhstan
Maybe he was threatened
in the
to
former
commit
USSR.
suicide.
Justin!
Justin's here.
What up,
I've been
bro?
here just quiet.
Oh, snap. Hey, brother. Dang. Oh. Dude,
was
how are you
sick.
feeling?
Pretty damn terrible.
I'm so sorry. Doesn't it
I
feel...
feel so bad.
Oh, COVID's the worst, dude. It feels so rough. Like your body's trying to catch oxygen.
And like it's my fault, and so I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to take it away.
Oh, no. It could have been... Dude, this new variant, you know, it could have been... I thought I got mine from the local water. Like, I hit some tap water and then got COVID. Like,
I
pretty
don't know where he
shortly
got.
after
Like
that.
I don't know where he picked it up because I kidnapped him, and we all went to the same place
Oh,
every
man.
day of the weekend, and then he was sick come the week, but none of us have COVID.
No, I'm so sorry, brother. You'll get to feeling better soon. I'm fucking putting the positive energy out there, dude.
I will say, COVID brain is no joke.
Dude,
Holy crap.
they don't advertise that it makes you stupid. It does. It made me stupid for months. I'm still
took
getting my
me,
brain
like,
back.
It took me like 30 minutes just to remember how to like unload and load the damn dishwasher.
Yes,
Oh,
it's like that. I could stare at a menu, not read it for 20 minutes, like fresh off of COVID.
no.
It does something. It's like your body has one priority, and that's get oxygen from your blood. But it's like, dude, you've got enough oxygen. I don't have I didn't have any respiratory symptoms, so I was like, why are you acting? Why is my body acting like this? But I could feel it, like the everything like expanding, like I had a respiratory illness, but I was asymptomatic in my lungs. I just had like the fever and all the other nonsense, but none of the respiratory stuff. Thank God. I hope it sounds like your voice is okay though, Justin. Or does your throat hurt? Any weird breathing issues?
No breathing issues, but I'm starting to get respiratory gunk.
Oh.
But I'm not. I feel like I'm on the mend. I had a real bad fever the first day or two. Like I was sweating through my clothes.
Ooh. Yeah. It's this new variant is like wants you to spread. It's like, hey, spread me around. I'm gonna make you sweaty. That's crazy. That's horrible. I hate fevers, dude. It hurts in your bones. Symptoms feeling better today though?
Other than the respiratory gunk.
Yeah. I hope that just goes away and doesn't become a whole thing for you. That's always fun. Well, brother Eric Allen, have you watched a little bit of this with us?
Just enough to kind of know what's going on.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think we might have an answer to some of this Alex Murdaugh crime stuff. Some of this like black market. What is their underworld like in South Carolina? And it turns out it's like a wealthy gambling house in Atlanta, Georgia. It's ran by Russians, and there's a bunch of other mobs underneath doing their thing with the scraps. So, let's see where this.
On the 7th of June 2017, 33 Russian mafia affiliates.
By the way, was the title just clickbait, or did you actually cover that early?
Oh, yeah, title was basically clickbait. I was thinking about. I'll probably find a video to check it out, maybe catch a rant or something about it. I haven't actually filmed what our YouTube video today is, or for tomorrow is going to be yet. So today is going to be Fall Guys Part 2, Merc Plays on YouTube. And then tomorrow can be whatever we want it to be. And haven't even filmed it yet. So like let's do that together. So you guys brainstorm at the end of this video. If not, we might default into bitching about Trump.
By the FBI for extortion, illegal gambling,
but I'm down to cryptid,
wire fraud on
internet mysteries. I'm down.
Murder for hire, conspiracy, and cigarette trafficking. They were also accused of operating secret and underground gambling dens and using violence to those who owed gambling debts, establishing nightclubs to sell drugs, and force women associates to rob male strangers by seducing and drugging them. When I read his suicide note through that lens, I couldn't help but to feel like it was trying to explain everything away, to make it simple for the police so they wouldn't dig any further. I mean, he flat out says, gambling not related. And here he explicitly states who did it. I alone created and benefited from the various scams. He even reiterates that in a PS at the end of the note. P.S. I have acted completely alone in all actions committed. I knew the risks of this happening and believe taking myself out of the game is the best way to move everyone as quickly as possible past all events. All anger should be directed towards me. Burn my body and dispose without service. When I read that, the first thing that I pictured in my mind was a co-conspirator of the financial crimes standing over Dennis and forcing him to say that he did it on its own. Is that my imagination just running wild?
A little bit, brother, and that's fair, though. It's fair to feel like that's probably what happened because he's biased and looking for a conspiracy, but I don't think there is one with this. I think that sounds like a pretty genuine suicide note to me.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he just kind of got desperate and was like, I don't see another way out.
It fits with the character profile I was building before we read it, and I think that I'm also coming at it from a little bit of a biased perspective because I built a character profile on this piece of shit. But I do think that Dennis is, I don't know if there's any necessarily like conspiracy behind it other than he probably owes the Russian mob so much money from gambling. Like he probably has such a heavy gambling debt that he went out in a way that was like a crybaby way to go, like he went out kicking and screaming, throwing a fit. I'm gonna tear up a hotel room with my blood and then leave a little snarky thing like burn my body, dispose without service. Like we get it, boo-hoo, you feel bad. Like
I was gonna say, I guess we're gonna play that little tiny violin all the way to the
end, all the way to the last second. It's like, dude, you're the one that embezzled millions and then gambled it away. Like while being a shitheel to everyone around you, because your personal reputation amongst the staff of every establishment on Hilton Head think you're an uppity rich dude when you're actually negative.
Mm-hmm.
Your net value is worse than Amber Heard's right now, bro.
Oof.
And she's sitting at negative 8 million. I about said she's shitting at negative 8 million, which is also accurate. It's also accurate.
It could be, but like Dennis's brother Fred, things do just seem odd. I honestly don't know if Dennis was involved with the Russian mob. All we have is what looks like the right conditions for it to be true.
Yeah, what dad definitely was really low to money.
In the reports that I got from the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office, there was a report on why they ruled this a suicide that had some really interesting points in it. In that report, it read, quote, "If homicide is to be considered, one would have to accept that the deceased passively surrendered, resigned himself to his fate, and while nude, waited until the offender located and retrieved the knife from the kitchen and cut him several times." Research also showed, reports said, that people sometimes commit suicide with chainsaws and by setting themselves on fire, possibly exceeding the extreme pain of a kitchen knife and multiple violent, jagged
That
cuts.
is true.
The sheriff's office also obtained a search warrant for Laura and Rob's phone records and even got Rob in for a polygraph test. Rob passed, and nothing could be found in either phone records to indicate they were involved in the disappearance of the Calverts or the death of Dennis. The police have received more tips over the years, and there were 3 that I found to be really interesting. In 2011, both the FBI and the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division received an envelope in the mail with a note that read, "Concerning the disappearance of the Calverts, please find enclosed map of Eastover, South Carolina. Check within 100 feet of the warehouse, especially the encircled area, 3 to 4 feet deep. When the remains are recovered, take note on who owns the property. Additional information forthcoming concerning Calverts, Gerwing, and others."
Weird.
Bob Romage and a team from the University of South Carolina Archaeology Department searched the property in hopes to find and bring an end to the mystery of what happened to the
Weird.
Calverts, but nothing was found. They did find that the property was owned by Forest Investment Associates out of Atlanta, Georgia. The original founder/investor of the company, a man named Charles, sold his remaining shares in 2008. I wasn't able to find out much about Charles, but I did find that him and 2 others started a firm in the 80s around investing in timberland. He did later live in Bluffton, which is just across the bridge from Hilton Head Island. But I couldn't find any connection to Dennis or the Calverts. The report said they planned on interviewing Charles, but no interview was included in the reports that I got from the sheriff's office.
And then they started
This is
getting
another
emails.
one that ended up raising a lot more questions than it did answers. There was a few emails from a family that was on vacation at the time of the Calverts' disappearance. Here's a few excerpts in an email from a woman named Darla. "Angela, my family was vacationing on Hilton Head when the Calverts disappeared March 1st through March 7th. We went to Orlando, Florida on Saturday, March 8th. We stayed at the Marriott Grand Vista Resort. While there, we saw the Calverts on March 13th between 11:30 and 11:45 a.m. We contacted 911 immediately. We have been paying close attention to this case since we had just come from Hilton Head. My family got a very good look at the couple in the pool area. The family members who saw them are positive it was them. The couple seemed to realize they had been spotted. The man looked scared. They left the area as quickly as possible on foot.
They faked
My
their
brother and
deaths?
his wife and also my 20-year-old niece got a close look at them before they took off. They are absolutely sure that it was the Calverts. My family is willing to talk to whoever is investigating this case." Her brother Tim sent a similar email as well.
Whoa. So they might have faked
On
their
March
death.
26, 2008, a woman from Beaufort contacted law enforcement with some really interesting claims.
That's so hard
The
to
police
do.
report says, quote,
Yeah.
"We met with Zamfira and she explained that she was
But they
involved
built
with
a park
person
bench
she
for these
identified as Brock.
cats.
She continued and explained that during her encounters with Brock, he admitted to
And they did get death in absentia really fast. Like, they got death while in absentia, like, fast. That's weird. That is weird. Like, it is kind of weird how quick they were declared dead.
her that he killed the Calverts and that he
'Cause there's
was
still
paid
people been missing for
$100,000
years
for the
that-
job. She stated he claimed to be a hitman. She also stated later that she saw Brock digging a hole in his backyard with a tractor and believed he buried them there. If this was true, this could finally be the break the police were looking for. They asked Zemfira to take a polygraph test and ask her these questions. Did you lie about Brock telling you that he was hired to kill a wealthy couple who lived on a boat on Hilton Head? Answer, no. Did you lie about Brock showing you a check for $100,000 in February? Answer, no. Did you lie about Brock digging a trench in his backyard? Answer, no. So what were the results of this polygraph? No deception indicated. She passed. Excited with this new lead, the police set up a sting operation and recorded phone calls between Zemfira and Brock, where they capture Brock on audio admitting to the murders. But there's a problem. Brock's story is riddled with inaccuracies. The police set up a meeting with Brock, and when asked about admitting to the murders, the report states, quote, Brock replied that Zemfira likes to play games. He said that stories like that are foreplay for her and she gets very excited. He stated that he tells her these things because it boosts her sexual desire. They give Brock a polygraph test and he too passes. And after further...
She was just so horny for the story that she just believed it was true. That's insane. He's like, nah, I just do that because she gets, she gets away. She gets all wet when I tell her about crimes and being a hitman and stuff. And wow.
Their investigation, his story seemed to check out. It's tough to know what to make of everything when looking at some of these cases. Part of me knows that the crazier the story sounds, the more people will be interested in it. There's incentive for the reporters who were telling the story at the time, and for myself telling it now, to see the most salacious answer to the various questions we have in this story. The answers that are the most interesting aren't necessarily the most likely. But every time I go down that thought trail, my mind seems to take another turn. Crazy stuff happens in this world, and just because answers are interesting doesn't make them untrue either. And that's kind of the thought circle that my mind goes through when researching and telling these stories. One thing I found kind of interesting when researching for this case was the death of Charles Frazier. He was on a chartered or rented yacht in Turks and Caicos. When the yacht exploded, Charles, along with his wife, daughter, and a few others, were thrown from the boat. The authorities said that because of the injuries from the explosion, Charles was unable to swim and drowned. I couldn't find much more on this incident, but it seemed really odd to me. How often do yachts just explode? Could there be something bigger than even the Calverts and Dennis and Charles Frazier going on behind the scenes on Hilton Head? I don't know the answer to that question, but I hope by attempting to tell these stories, maybe the truth can come a little more into focus. On September 7th, 2008, a boat called the Spirit of Harbortown set off from the marina with around 80 of the Calvert's friends and family. The purpose was to raise money for a reward fund in hopes that someone would come forward to solve the case. But the trip also served almost as a wake. As the boat moved through the Calabogue Sound, with the sun setting over the low country, they laughed and cried as they thought of their dear friends John and Elizabeth Calvert, clinging to the hope that answers would come. But as of today, 14 years later, we still don't know what really happened to John and Liz Calvert. I referenced a few people that cross over from the Murdaugh story into this one. I've heard speculation that this is evidence of corruption running deep in the systems in place here in the Low Country. I felt it necessary to say that while that could be true, it's important to remember that the people mentioned in this story and the Murdaugh story, attorneys, solicitors, pathologists, all have careers that deal with crime. So it shouldn't be seen as a huge coincidence that they would be in two major stories occurring here in the Low Country.
That's true, but still weird.
Feel I've earned it, I'd be honored.
I mean, he made a good point there because I was angry that it's the same pathologist. I haven't been hung up on Aaron, the pathologist, who I'm still triggered about from a previous video, but okay. So that he keeps that was kind of honestly a road that went nowhere, I think, in connection to Murdaugh, other than maybe establishing that there is some Russian mob in the area, you know?
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't. Good quality though. I like you, Eric Allen. Eric Allen 123 on Instagram is apparently the way to go. All right, well, I'm going to take a break. Ari Anthony, you know what we're going to do? Ari Anthony, choose a cryptid. Choose a cryptid. Don't tell me. Don't,
okay.
Yeah,
I stuck something in the VC text chat if you wanted to run down an internet rabbit hole.
Oh, okay, cool. Or a rabbit hole.
You want to check that out first?
Or a rabbit hole, yes. We'll do. Ooh, okay. Hold on. We might go ahead and knock out 2 releases for YouTube today. Gonna take a quick break though. Use the restroom, grab some tea, and be right back. And then and we'll go into YouTube shoot mode. So when I come back from the break, we'll cuss a little less. You know what I'm saying? We'll be a little more ad friendly. We'll save Papa Bear some time on the editing bay. You know, but
sounds good.
But no major pressure. No major pressure. All right. Be right back, gang. Everybody, do whatever you do on Twitch that means that you like the stream. I forget what it is. I don't think there's a thumbs up. Hit heart. I don't know. Do whatever. Drop an emoji. Here's a track. This is Feeling Lost by Sworn. I'm not a radio station anymore. Why am I telling you what I'm playing? We're going to talk about Lake City quiet pills today. All right. Got Arianthe here with me. Got Justin, my co-host, executive producer. Let's get them going. All right. What's up, gang? We're back. Okay. Looks like we're talking about Lake City quiet pills today, Arianthe. Justin, this looks... I'm a little familiar with Lake City quiet pills. But let's go down this rabbit hole. I'm very excited.
I think I watched a Nexpo thing on this.
Yes, Nexpo. I think Rainbot maybe has also done one. I might be wrong about that. Definitely someone from the spoopy side of YouTube. So, shout out SpoopyTube. Love SpoopyTube. Okay. Unraveling Unsolved Mysteries with Threat Intelligence is the title of this article that Arianthe sent in the VC text chat. Have you ever heard of Lake City quiet pills? It refers to a mysterious site that first made waves on Reddit in 2009 and has since resurfaced. What is Lake City quiet pills? Lake City quiet pills, LCQP, is known as an image hosting site, lakecityquietpills.com, believed to be run by a Redditor with the handle Religion of Peace, also known as Milo. Some Redditors speculated that LCQP was a front for ex-military contract assassins. A few believers have even attempted to draw connections between the site and the assassination of Mahmoud al-Maboon in January 2010. That theory, however, has been debunked. Others, meanwhile, speculated that quiet pills is slang for bullets. Here's a timeline of LCQP-related events. Wow, okay, so it's not quite deep web. It's right on the sleeve, right there in regular web, regular internet. Apparently a place you could order a hit is the internet legend, if you will. In early 2009, Milo, who claimed to be a military veteran, regularly commented on a variety of topics. He spent more time, however, talking about violence and politics and rallying against liberal news sites and socialism. In doing so, he promoted a variety of content from his site, most of which was prejudicial and offensive. Using threat intelligence platform, we found that LCQP domain was registered in June 2008, anonymously in the United States, among other data points. So it was formed in 2008, I'm assuming June 2008, as a way for Milo to, I guess, just hate the left, is how it seems, to really just go full-on hard alt-right before it was cool. Milo stopped posting in July of 2009. A new poster with the handle 2-6 logged on a day after Milo's last post appeared. 2-6 claimed to be Milo's hosting provider. This post led the curious to dig deeper into 2-6. Or 2-6? I don't know. And found a username, Angel26, whose email address often appeared in the LCQP site. Angel26's forum post had no direct ties to LCQP, however. They could be associated with the Lake City Army Ammunition Plant, which had the tagline, "Dispensing Lake City quiet pills to lousy bastards in need of permanent rest since 1968. Investigations led to a poster named Angel, assumed to be Angel26, looking for groups of 8 to 10 people who were fluent in specific languages to travel to different countries and deliver packages. On the surface, this could have ties to illegal activities. Some believed the ad was related to Mahmoud al-Maboon's Mabo? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Mabo's assassination, debunked since. CNN's Anderson Cooper did a feature on LCQP in September of 2011. His investigation looked closely at the site's pornographic nature. This exposed jailbait moderator Michael Brutch, who allowed LCQP content to tag his subreddit. In October of 2012, the jailbait subreddit has since been shut down, and Brutch, also known as Violent Acres, aired his side to the media in an exclusive interview with Adrian Chin. A post telling Redditors to stop looking into LCQP appeared. This was followed by another post still discussing the unresolved mystery to date. So where do things stand? A quick look at the LCQP's site, Whois records show, HWOIS records show that the domain is set to expire in June of 2020 and was last updated in February of 2019. A WHOIS history search revealed that it changed domain owners 4 times. At present, the domain's ownership is non-transferable. So the domain owner now is the domain owner for the foreseeable future. What this sequence of events shows us is that web activities leave breadcrumbs, which may lead to speculations, mysteries, and unanswered questions. Are there ways to look into this while casting some light on dubious or criminal undertakings? This is made possible at least partially through threat intelligence. Using threat intelligence for investigating online entities. A threat intelligence platform offers easy-to-use tools, services, and application programming interfaces, APIs. More specifically, threat intelligence data can help gather detailed information about hosts and their infrastructure, notably through real-time host configuration analysis. With it, researchers and analysts can better determine if a domain contains malware or other potentially harmful content, malicious Android applications, packages, APKs, and executable files, iframes, scripts, and redirects. If it has a valid secure sockets layer, SSL, certificate, and properly configured system settings. Okay. Details in WHOIS records including when a domain was registered, when its registration expires, when it was last updated, who its registrar is, who owns it, and ways to contact him, what country it's registered in. These information sources can aid in cybercrime-related investigations. Okay. The data can also serve as jump-off points. Okay. So they're using TIP to kind of look at Lake City quiet pills. Okay.
So I'm gonna say I barely touched this before I stopped and was like, I want to go through this with Merc on air.
Yeah. No, absolutely. This is fascinating to me. So
I have a video for you. It's an hour long. Is that okay?
It is okay. I think I'll probably let me search here real quick actually and look for some.
I went ahead and put it in the VC text chat for anybody who wants to look at it. I did find that Nexpo has the best video on it.
They do. Nexpo has a great video on it. Lake City Quiet Pills explains. We might roll with Barely Sociable's video.
A little shorter. Yeah.
A little bit shorter. I really like Barely Sociable.
I do too.
But I also
Mike
love Nexpo.
also
These
has
are
a
all
video.
greats, you know.
That chapter
Yes.
Mike is fantastic.
That chapter is one of my favorites. I could put that dude on. I want him to explain the universe to me.
Same.
Let's do this one. I will say, I need you to choose another mystery because I nailed the intro for this before I popped into Discord. I did at least a D- read and forgot to hit record. So yeah, you know, hey, we'll get a video done today. We'll get something for YouTube. They'll be okay.
I can pick something else.
We will here in just a bit. Let's watch this. Let's watch Barely Sociable first. Let's keep having a good time because I'm not done with Lake City Quiet Pills. I want to refresh myself. And I also didn't hit record for YouTube, so if you got them, smoke them, guys. If you got them, smoke them. I'm going to go grab mine.
The internet is no strange place for oddities or shady business. With billions
is the screen cap working good for you guys?
Platform each day, there is no shortage
Discord?
of questionable things that go on online.
Yeah.
To investigate in today's video, we're going to be looking at one of those internet oddities that leads down a rabbit hole of one of Reddit's very first
Surprisingly better than
mysteries.
normal.
While this mystery is
Good.
no
It should
stranger
be.
to speculation,
Streamlining
very
stuff.
few people have sought to actually create a cohesive narrative.
A lot less
of the
bandwidth
events
usage
surrounding
lately.
this. What I seek to do today in this video is give you all the details, tell the story, and then give analysis on the events surrounding the Lake City Quiet Pills incident. While we will discuss the main theories of this, I want to remain a skeptic for the sake of uncovering the truth, as I think it's important here to focus on what we actually know rather than get carried away into Spooksville. So that being said, that's what we're going to do. We're going to tackle this incredibly detailed internet mystery, so sit back and enjoy as we dive straight into this. The trailhead for this rabbit hole revolves around the Reddit user named Religion of Peace, who joined Reddit back in 2007. He was most known on Reddit as a bit of an elder for his service in the military, but also infamously known.
Religion of Peace, such a sketch name. And let me tell you, you guys get to see my Markiplier beefs on Twitch, where I just forget to record.
Oh no.
Like, now we got to do a Lake City Quiet Pills video, but not today. We'll do it again. We'll record it. Sorry.
As a moderator of the r/jailbait subreddit, which was a subreddit dedicating to posting photos of questionably underage girls. But more on that later. Religion of Peace post history is extensive and crude. There's so much to dig through here to set the stage for the events that unfold, that before we even talk about Quiet Pills, we need to understand exactly who this guy was to save us some confusion down the line. Also, for further reference, Religion of Peace is the same thing as ROP or Milo. The same person. That's all you need to know. Got it? Good. Let's go. Our first post I would like to highlight is from June 6, 2009. Here on a post commemorating the 65th anniversary of D-Day, what follows is a top comment from the user Religion of Peace, who chimes in explaining his experience on D-Day. I'm not going to read through this post because it's not very important, but all you need to know is that he claims to be 79 at the time of this post, putting him at age 14 during D-Day, which is seriously questionable. While many people enlisted in world wars below the age of 18, this is still something I highly doubt, as we have nothing but this guy's word to go off of. But what completely debunks this is the fact that if you manage to dig up all the way back into this guy's post history, you would find an Ask Reddit thread in which he says that his age was 70 the year prior. This completely debunks his age, which I haven't seen a single other person talk about on the subject matter. And I was about to actually end my video research once I saw this because I thought it was a hoax. But we're going to progress anyways, because what I found completely contradicts that. This is one really weird detail that I just had to throw in this video, but continuing on. Religion of Peace also claimed to have served in the military until 1987, claiming he didn't have enough money to retire and thus sought a job in a computer-related technical field that would be easier on his older body, and uses this to explain his frequent browsing of Reddit. However, I would like to point out that if he actually served 20 to 30 years, it takes about 20 years of service in the military, generally speaking, to gain retirement benefits. So here we have another thing that's just even more questionable. Admittedly, though, he does seem to have some experience in something, as his post history is so centered around the subject matter of being a soldier and revolves around violence that it's hard to look the other way. And despite all the evidence against his career, due to his many hours of commenting, just the sheer number of them, I do believe he has done some time somewhere in some form of service. His and his other use of military jargon does seem to match after researching around. In addition to that, I don't think a human would surround themselves with that subject matter forcefully for that matter of time. Moving on,
false.
Religion of Peace frequently posted about his obvious affinity for young girls, stating bluntly as an old man that he would, quote, admire the scenery but not pick the flowers.
Weird.
This is creepy to say the least.
That is a weird thing to
as
say.
I mentioned earlier, he was a moderator of the r/jailbait
he just likes to look at pretty ladies, I guess.
Whatever. Into the pervert community. So we can say for certain at least
just
one
don't
thing,
touch them and don't make them feel weird.
Yeah, it's extra nefarious knowing that he goes on to do like a jailbait subreddit. You know what I mean? Like, or he's at least involved with the guys that do the jailbait subreddit. Creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy. Stay away from the young girls, dude. Honestly, your taste in women should age with you. I don't see.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Lux and I are close in age. My ex-wife, we're close in age, and my flavor for what I like has aged with me. You know, had a brief experience with a 19-year-old as a 30-year-old, and it sucked. Or as a 29-year-old, however old I was, it sucked.
They were just too young.
No one wants to hang out with it.
That age gap is real.
Yeah, no one wants to hang out with a teenager at the end of the day. You shouldn't want to hang out with a teenager if you're in your 30s, honestly.
No.
You shouldn't want to. And if it's not your kid, I mean.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's the only exception is like my kid. And even my kid, now that he's almost 13, kind of sucks a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
want to
like
hang out with an opinionated little teenager that's still learning stuff.
12 going on 35. Him and Justin get along great.
Yeah. See, that, yeah.
I can't do it because I'm mom,
Can do fine with the uncles. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm fun Uncle Justin.
Yeah.
Well, you're the captain. You know?
I love
in my
that
house,
nickname.
everybody just calls you the captain.
I love that nickname so much. So much.
My kids love you and they like hanging out with you, but man, when it comes to me, he's almost 13, so everything I do is an eye roll and a
The Paul Rudd reaction from Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah, and I've legitimately watched Justin do the same stuff, and my oldest is like, he's so cool, and I'm like, oh, God.
And it's like, just because he's saying the same thing I would, just not like that.
Just not as the captain, you know.
Yeah, if you're young, you're allowed to be this. Hold on, I'm just gonna pull the clip up because we're not. We're here. You're allowed to be this. This is teenage boys.
You gonna clean that up?
Oh yeah, I will. I don't have time right now.
Clean it up and come to my office for the meeting.
I gotta.
Yeah.
This
is my kid.
Watch how he does it.
This is my child. Like, it's the hardest thing in the world. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Boys have a...
Just sling the whole body into it.
To clean your room. This was me cleaning my room until I was probably, like...
I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was me cleaning my room too, all the way up until I found something that I forgot I had.
This.
Oh my God, that's my child. I want to slap it.
Yeah, that's little boys throwing a tantrum. That's not even throwing a tantrum. It's just being a boy. It's just being a teenager.
Yeah, no, that's not even a tantrum that he throws. It's just everything I tell him to do. That's how he does it. It's that same energy all the time.
It's just being a teenager. Like, oh wow.
He got real brave the other day because Derek said no to something to Lincoln while Kate was in the middle of doing it.
Oh.
And he goes, "No, man, no, you can't do that." And Kate flipped around and he goes, "Yes."
Oh.
I was like, "Bro,
don't you?
My mom would have killed me.
Smack my head clean off my neck."
Yep. And then she would have told me to clean up the mess.
They would have been eating tenderized me neck that night. They eat my
Derek
turkey head.
It's so funny because Derek is just so passive. Derek's like, "Hey, I'm the adult. I said no." And,
Oh, yeah.
like, he gets an eye roll and a too, so I guess that's a little satisfying. But I'm like, I don't know how you reacted that way.
Yeah.
Because he never does, but if he ever spoke to me like that.
I come from some pretty tough ladies, so my nieces can get away with a lot more than my nephew can and my son can. That's for sure.
That's because you're afraid of them.
Yeah, they can just kind of... Honestly, the crazier shit they say, the more I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have the weapons that Derek doesn't have. Like, if I raise my eyebrow at my kids, they will stop whatever they're doing. Even if they don't know that they're doing anything wrong, they'll just stop and go, "What happened? What do I do?"
What do I do? What now?
Derek doesn't have that. So Derek has to be like...
Full on deer and headlights.
Yes. Yeah.
Mom's being real
Justin
with
even
you.
hints at doing something, and my kids are like stumbling over each other to get it for him.
Oh, man.
Bullshit.
All right. I'm going to keep going on Lake City Quiet Pills, but now we got to... What's the video for tomorrow? Think about it. Think about it still while we can redo Lake City Quiet Pills, but I'd rather...
Well, I posted another one in the VC text chat that I had not quite touched yet.
Ooh.
So we can go through that, and then if you like it, we can
Ooh, we'll do that
My
one next
goodness.
then. We'll do that one next.
Okay.
I'll do a clean little break after this video so I can kind of give myself an editing cue and some time and hit record and do the thing.
Sounds good.
All right. Oh my gosh.
When analyzing Religion of Peace.
Can't believe I
post-history
did that.
Is his technical skill with computers.
I really nailed the intro too. Damn it.
Would frequently
But
post
who
to
would we
r//
be if we
program
didn't
subreddit
do
as
that?
well.
I can still pull
Something
this
very
from Twitch, I guess.
uncharacteristic of an old man.
Yeah.
The last thing we can glean from his post history is the frequent promotion of the website LakeCityQuietPills.com. That old guy's image hosting website, which is also the nickname of this site, which was a source of the Lake City Quiet Pills incident and was created as an image hosting website similar to Imgur or PhotoBucket, where users could upload.
You just call Imager Imgur?
I think so, yeah.
Do people call it Imgur? I've always called it Imager.
I've always heard it called Imgur.
Really?
Okay. GIF and GIF. I mean, we all know GIF is right, but all right. Dang. Imgur.
Photos and then link them.
We've been messing
across
that
things
up all
Reddit.
these years.
With this,
I'm still
obviously,
calling
was
it
used
Imager.
for porn.
I'm not
Oh,
changing.
I'm not.
Had
Yeah, I'm
quite
not
a
changing.
bit of images on the site and quite a bit of users as well. So, what do we actually know about the username Religion of Peace? Before concluding this section, let's summarize. He likely served some time in the military, despite our dates not being exact.
I'm so glad my
do not know his
text
exact
chat's working
age.
again.
We know he was a moderator in the r/jailbait subreddit. We know he has experience as a programmer, and we also know he has a website called Lake City Quiet.
We know he's a hella creep. But is he assassinating people? I don't know. Incident.
And now that that's over with, we know who he is. It's time to finally get on to the story that involves this incident being set in motion. In July of 2009, a new user would make a post on the r/all subreddit by the name of 26, stating the following: "The end of Religion of Peace. He died today. I'm the person who provided Religion of Peace the space for that old guy's image host. Milo died today. He was 79 years old. He died at his desk looking at your site. Milo was a mean old fucker, mean and ornery. He hooked me up with my first gig when I got out of the army. I didn't like finding him like that. Milo don't have any living relatives and no real friends. And other than his landlady and a few people where he worked, he didn't talk to anyone about much of anything. Me, he just tolerated. As I said, he was mean. I think he used that as a shield to keep people away from him. Milo thought God was some kind of con game thought up by some lazy sons of bitches who didn't want to work every day. So he's going into the fire on Monday without a service, just like he wanted. I'm planning to dump his ashes in the woods in PA near where he was born. Can't put them right there because there's a mall now. I gave the girl next door his raggedy old cat and most of his books. His computer's and Tronic shit he tagged for the disabled vets in BVA. All the rest of the stuff is for the Salvation Army.
Yeah,
All
so he
his
went
ears and
out.
Everything he owned fits in the trunk of my car. I don't know what else to say.
This guy's like a broke version of Dennis, a character type we talked about earlier. You know, just the means in which you go out. Like no service, no anything. Nothing for... There's a level of selfishness I hear in this story, you know, behind this guy that started this whole LCQP kind of movement. And I just don't... it's hard for me to respect that character type. I am biased and think that you're selfish if you go out like that. There's a lot of people that maybe want to mourn you, even if there's one person.
Yeah.
Do something for them. I have a list of songs I want played, like, you know, and it's not really for... Give people the time to grieve you, homie. It's nothing to do with religion. You can be mad at religion all day, but if you're going to be an anti-theist to that point, that you don't care about the people around you, like, that's rough, man. This is, I don't know. This is the type of person
I mean, you can have a non-religious service. That's a thing.
Exactly. You can do for really cheap too. Like, or you could just have a simple, like, your friends get together. Like, you just want the day that you get picked up from, you know, getting turned into ashes. You want your ash that you party that day when you pick me up. Like, I don't know why there's nothing like that. It's so weird. People like that weird me out. I don't get along with them normally in real life.
I'll miss him. Miserable bastard. So here we have a third party stepping in, keeping in mind the name 26 for future reference, as he claimed to have a relationship to Milo, aka Religion of Peace, aka ROP. He even goes as far as to give out coordinates to where the ashes were spread of Religion of Peace, which is actually a Holiday Inn in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Seeing as we know the name of Religion of Peace, Milo, I'm going to be referring to him as such from now on. As a result of Milo gaining such a reputation over the years on Reddit, when this post about his death was on the r/all section, it managed to gain some traction, which led to about 650 upvotes, which isn't a lot by today's standard. However, in 2009, when Reddit didn't have nearly as much traffic, it was a slightly big event in some regard, whether intended or not. This naturally led users on Reddit to dig a bit deeper into what or who the guy was that died for the sake of curiosity. Some speculated whether or not this was a hoax meant to drive traffic to LakeCityQuietPills.com or the image hosting website. So people began to dig, and what they found would actually blow this mystery wide open. To validate the claims of this 26 character, Redditors sought to make a connection, and Redditors managed to dig up an old account from a website called FARC, and found a user by the name of Angel26.
It's called FARC. It's called FARC.
Dispensing Lake City Quiet Pills to lousy bastards in need of a permanent rest since 1968. And this account had dated all the way back to 2001. Angel26's comment history was similar to that of Milo's or Religion of Peace's, and dealt with detailing their favorite guns, ammunitions, and they appeared to have a history of military service as well. Notably, though, Angel26 also had an email address, angel26@lakecityquietpills.com, which was registered under his FARC account. If that wasn't enough, users also compared the writing styles of the post to Angel26, and it was pretty darn close. Angel misspelled some of the same words and used very similar incorrect apostrophes in his writing, which would be an insane amount of work to fake for an account going all the way back to 2001. So mystery hunters had their match, but what now? Well, people kept digging and digging, trying to uncover the meaning behind the Lake City Quiet Pills website name. Clearly, Angel had some connection, but what was the reason for naming the website, especially since it was used to host adult content? So why use the name LakeCityQuietPills.com? It doesn't exactly scream, hey, we have porn over here. In search of some kind of meaning, Redditors were led to the website and decided to dig a bit deeper. And upon looking at the source code of the website, they discovered a message board hidden in plain sight. These messages were dated and showed the true nature of what had been going on behind the scenes. And in the months to come, they would piece together a story unfolding silently in this corner of the internet. The posts on this hidden message board were predominantly job postings, but not job postings for your typical paradoxical entry-level job that requires 2 years experience.
Oh, really?
No, they appeared to be for some form of military contracting, bodyguards, or mercenary work. Funny enough, the day that Reddit user 26 posted the news of Religion of Peace dying, or Milo, an anonymous user on the message board posted the following on July 17th, 2009, hidden within the contents of LakeCityQuietPills.com. I'm sorry to tell you that old Milo died yesterday. He went quiet and calm, not like we all figured. I gave that fat mangy cat to the girl next door. No services or nothing. You know Milo. I'm taking his ashes to back where his farm was. Close to it anyways.
Daggum.
There's a mall where his place was. So hoist a few for the old man. Remember what he said. Keep with the man who's got your back. Just calling back to what I said about the age not matching up of Religion of Peace. Here we had confirmation from a third party that was posted to seemingly no one at the time that this guy had died. So we have some form of confirmation here that appears to surpass this guy lying about his age or experience in the army. As noted earlier in the Reddit post, Angel26 was the one who provided hosting for the website, so this is clearly him posting. Alongside this post, there was also quite a few job postings that read the following. A number of these posts obviously featured a bunch of different acronyms. The most highly controversial acronym of them all was W/W, whether it meant wet work or want/warrants.
You were doing.
Essentially, this would mean that if it was wet work, this had to involve murder, or want/warrants, meaning that they
still cleaning up audio quality a little bit.
Or anything out for them in a certain country.
Getting a little
At the
pop
time of this
filter
happened,
going.
Very few people actually realized the messages were
They're
on the
necessary.
website, and it took a while for this mystery to kind of unfold. It didn't really gain a lot of initial attention. However, on September 30th,
We need that
2009,
Markiplier
2 months
quality.
later, after
You know.
Milo died, Angel26 presumably posted, "For those that have asked, I bricked Milo's iron key the same day. All is well." If you're unfamiliar with what an iron key is, It's essentially an encrypted flash drive. To brick a device, you're essentially making all the data on the device lost, rendering the device unusable and cleaned. This likely hints at the fact that this group of individuals on this message board was not involved in your typical military contracting or bodyguarding. This hints at some shady business. On November 14th, 2009, Angel26, or user 26, posted again on the website. Milo's will cleared probate. Surprise, Milo was loaded. Email Shade if we sent you out in 2005
I knew it.
2009. Shade.
What are we learning about these character types that go out like that? I'm surprised he didn't. He's wealthy.
We'll have checks cut for you. Amount is by how many times, not by pay total. Small share is 3 to 4K. This part is interesting. Milo had a will for a group of individuals, or perhaps they were just the only ones to be left to. Weird that he had alive. And in this message stating that anyone had been sent out in 2005 to 2009 would mean that these jobs had been going on for quite a bit of time. And the fact that they're getting $3,000 to $4,000 is a decent amount of money that would match up with military contracting work. Also in this message, we see a new individual referenced, Shade, who apparently has been handling payouts. Moving forward to January 2010, Angel26 returned, this time with an announcement.
New characters.
Happy New Year, everyone. We're having a birthday party for the old man on the 19th. Party starts at 1500. At the usual, send your RSVP to Shade. FYI, we're booking a room for 3 days for anyone coming out of the area and overnight for locals. Come hoist one for Dutch Milo. While on the surface, it seems nice that these group of individuals would throw a party for their lost colleague, it is rumored that it was not a literal party per se, and rather something else due to the message that was sent out the following day before the party. We got 38 rooms in the Marriott on 46. Shade has the key cards for locals. Pick up at the party. Give your travel name to the desk, and that's it. No ID needed. We're covering the bill. Keep the room service under 500, okay? The phones there are not secure.
No.
Bus from hotel leaves at 13:30. Car service vouchers for return trip. When you're ready to crash, don't DUI. If they were traveling for leisure, why would they worry about the phone lines? Why would they need a travel name? And why would a group of adults be reminded to not drive under the influence? All of this seemed to hint at something else going on here.
A little suspect. Just a little suspect.
On January 19th at 3 p.m. local time, a very intricate assassination would take place in Dubai at the exact same time listed on the party invitation. On January 19th, 2010, Mahmoud al-Mabou, which, pardon me if I said that wrong, who was a...
I'm not the only one who has a problem with Mahmoud al-Mabou. It is an awfully strange coincidence. We know now that this element of this story has been debunked, but I mean, it doesn't make it any less interesting to me, you know? Like,
yeah,
that's an awfully strange coincidence to just that's just strange. It's strange to me. Like, what, the exact same time as the party is when this happens? It's weird. It's weird.
I would like to know how it was debunked.
Well, I don't know. I wonder if he'll get into that, or if it happened after he posted this video. But we'll look into it. I would imagine some of the threat assessment stuff they're running it through, and like it probably all comes down to like digital footprints and device tracking that maybe we're not even privy to the full like details of. You know, might be something like that.
Organization and logistics of weapons for Hamas, was traveling alone under a fake name and with no security guards. Earlier that day, his trip had been preceded by a small network of men and women, numbering around 24 in total. These individuals had arrived in Dubai using fake names and passports of their own and began coordinating their efforts to track down al-Mabou. I will leave the security footage of this coordinated assassination to see the full extent of what went on here, but there's about 27 minutes of security footage, so to save time, I'll ultimately leave that up to you. The gist of what happened is as follows. A group of assassins tracked the Hamas leader to his room, waited for him to leave to go shopping, snuck into his room and gained access somehow, and waited for the guy to come back, and lastly, took him out. Now, not only does the date line up exactly and time of this assassination to the Lake City Quiet Pills website and their party, but also, interestingly enough, some of the suspects involved in this assassination were given credit cards from Storm Lake in Iowa, which is a town over to Lake City, Iowa. And if you're wondering how Lake City, Iowa plays into this other than Lake City Quiet Pills, if you remember Angel26's signature on FARC it was essentially dispensing Lake
Fark.
City quiet pills to lousy bastards.
Every time I hear it.
Rest since 1969.
Fark.
If you actually do a Google search for Lake City, Iowa quiet pills, what most people have agreed upon is the fact that Lake City quiet pills is based off the ammunition plant based in Lake City, which is one of the U.S.'s largest manufacturers for bullets. So, quiet pills are bullets. That's how the connection here is made. The fact that that town is won over and less than an hour away would point that some of the people who are involved with this might be local to that area. A couple weeks after the event happened, what was posted onto the Lake City Quiet Pills website was the following. Here's the final for the party. Hotel rooms, 48,341. Limo, 6,080. Bus, 569. Bar bill, 18,890. Food, 8,030. Dancers, 8,300. Miscellaneous tips, 850. Miscellaneous expenses, 2,840. Medical supplies, 180. Fat Tommy and Stu are okay too. Total 94,080. You did all Dutch Milo proud. Thanks. 94,000 sounds like quite a bit for a party, but there's no way to say for certain what actually all this itemization is about. After a few weeks later, more and more people began to link up the world events, and this started to gain even more attention. So what used to be an easy read text documenting all the job postings on this website had become encrypted. Redditors trying to see what was behind this encryption and what was on the website thereafter led them to see it get encrypted again. And then right after that, the website was taken down completely. Today, the only thing we have left is the Wayback Machine or the archives of the site left over.
Ooh.
Moving
what
on
he says.
to the analysis of this entire situation, as it's very hard to bring this all together. There's so many little details, and this is one of those very bizarre internet oddities. I will say, after studying up on this incident, I don't see enough evidence at all to conclusively say that these guys were linked to any assassinations. The only evidence that links to assassination are the credit cards, which are from Storm Lake, like I said, which still isn't Lake City. It's a town over, even though it's 50 minutes away, which is hardly enough to stand on to link the two. The only real connection comes from the exact timing. Other than that, I would just say it's a coincidence. Likely, what I think this was a group of military contract workers. Angel26 even says in the Reddit post that Milo got him a job after he got out of the military. So via way of Occam's razor, this would make the most sense. As to what these guys were involved in is next to impossible to say. Many people believe this to be a hoax as well, but I would disagree. The FARC account dated all the way back to 2001 that went to Angel26, and on top of that, why would a site encrypt its message board right after being discovered, then completely nuke the site? All of that does not add up to this being a hoax. And the weirdest thing that no one has explored, other than one little Reddit thread that I found on the Lake City Quiet Pills website that barely gained any attention, is what I want to leave you with at the end of this video. Okay, so
I'm saying
this is pretty ominous. If you actually look up Religion of Peace's
right
username
now
on a website called Snoop Snoo, which allows you to gain more information about Redditors,
Snoop.
it shows that his last
Snoop
post
Snoo.
was made in 2019.
I like Snoop Snoo. That's hilarious.
I do too.
That killed me too. Press F for me because that killed me. That was funny.
Okay, so if I look at his post history, he has no posts at all, which is very bizarre because this guy's dead. Okay, so this leaves us with two possibilities. Someone either made a post under a private subreddit, which would be the reason for the post not being shown in his profile, or Snoop Snoo is glitching out. This also happens with
You mean a
user
website
26
like
as
Snoop
well.
Snoo is going to
He's
glitch
posted in
out?
2019
You mean
as well.
Snoop Snoo
These
doesn't
guys
like
might
demand
still be
perfection from its
around,
servers?
Which is weird.
What?
Anyway, this is an incredibly
Glitches
interesting
on
rabbit
Snoop
hole,
Snoo, sir?
Incredibly interesting mystery.
On
and
Snoop
the
Snoo?
speculation is still
I don't
going
think
on.
so.
There's
Snoop
nothing
Snoo.
is conclusive
I don't think so.
here. There's no shortage of speculation,
Sounds like
but what I
bullshit.
recommend is that you actually go through this for yourself if you're still interested. This thing is one of my favorite internet oddities just because it has so much substance to keep your imagination going. Whatever happened with Lake City Quiet Pills, one thing is for sure, it is a genuine internet mystery that I hope you enjoyed exploring with me today. That's all for me today.
Yeah. No, that was good. I say nay. I don't think they were assassins. I'm gonna say nay. I do think that kind of thing is out there, but it's on like the deep web.
Yeah.
It's in the deep dark trenches of onion
I mean,
routers.
maybe they're hiding it on things called Snoop Snoo and FARC because we laugh about it.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good, that's a good conspiracy, and a good way to do that is hide it on something that is named Fark and we are laughing at constantly. But,
so there's another possibility.
Oh, what do we got?
So we know that they were involved in something. We know they were involved in something called jailbait.
Yes.
Maybe they were just doing some illegal porn shit.
I think that that's probably where it is at its worst.
And that's why they had the iron key.
Yep.
Speaking
the
of
iron
illegal...
key is what they use to pass information around.
Yeah. Oh, Cicada 3301. Okay, I'm gonna pass on that one.
Okay.
I was involved in the first wave of that.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, no, we've covered that one on the stream quite a bit. I've gone.
I had a feeling. I'm like, why does this sound familiar?
Yeah, I've gone off on Cicada 3301. I was actually showing Lux the other night to just someone else's video on it, and it's like, it's a big story. It's interesting, but it doesn't go anywhere. It was just a think tank.
Did they ever break it?
Yeah, people cracked it and got accepted. They were looking for people for something, and they got accepted, and they're in it, and it does its thing. Whatever they're up to it in secret. It doesn't go anywhere. They were just building a think tank, and somehow it was global, and now they just, I assume, sit in a Discord server and hang out. That's what's weird, is I don't think there's anything nefarious to it. I don't think it was a government. I don't think the Illuminati was sniping the smartest minds. I think it was some Mensa members who were looking for some new friends that are really into cryptography. You know what I mean? Like,
interesting.
Yeah, I think it was just how geniuses find other geniuses,
Yeah, I came across it and I was like, why does it sound so familiar?
Yeah. Now the first few waves of it were fascinating because you would have to I don't know anybody. There was nobody on the forums I was in that is good enough at that many fields to have cracked those codes by themselves. There's one guy who would break down the message that was hidden in the code, and then we could do something with that. If you give me something that's like, I'm pretty good at pattern recognition, you know what I mean? Like, once somebody gives us enough clues, there's a character profile you can build on who's making the clues. Fascinating thing about Cicada 3301 is it was obviously a team of people looking for more people. So it's the intention and motive seems to be just like-minded individuals at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like when we get to just the humans behind who's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But in that, so I was hoping there'd be something nefarious. They had the moth imagery. Like there was stuff going on that was like, okay, this is fascinating to me. If there's a way to be James Bond, is this how we get there? Is this how I get there? You know what I mean? Is this what they're looking for? But I would imagine the people that they did take were people who could get through as many of those clues by themselves as possible, because that's the only way you could do it fast enough to get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking, it would take weeks to break down some of their clues for a forum of people. Cicada 3301 was nutty. It was a nutty time. But I'm going to hit a break, and then we'll just come back, and I'm going to actually hit record.
Sounds good.
And we'll decide, think of a cryptid. I want to do cryptid roulette.
Cryptid roulette, let's do it.
Yeah. Think of one at random, have one in your head, and I'll be right back in the Discord. I'm going to deafen for a bit, play some songs, and I'll be right back. Ooh, I'm excited about that. Okay, guys. Again, be right back. We're going to talk about cryptids today. It's cryptid roulette time.
I have my excuses, as crackpot as they may seem.
Oh, I like popping in on that.
Talking about DNA tests.
Oh, what about DNA tests?
Justin's afraid the government's going to steal his DNA, and I'm trying to tell him they already have
That's
it.
not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is the fact that if you get DNA evidence that you are predisposed to certain genetic conditions, they can hold that over you for insurance later on.
Yeah, well...
And if you don't divulge that information, that's technically illegal.
Well, and
that is fair.
Here's the thing too, like they already have it on all your cousins, they can already make like a guesstimate of what your genome is and what you're predisposed to.
Oh no, I'm the most medically friendly person in my family.
Oh, gotcha. What's strange is how many like cousins I didn't realize I had. Like, there are so many people genetically close to me that I was genuinely shocked. It's pretty wild what what they already know about us, You know, like that's what kind of like having gone through like the ancestry.com stuff. It's like, yeah, they already would have known who I am. There was
Trying to
one.
get Justin on the rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one mystery that was solved in my case, which was, am I a direct descendant of a man named Hans Michael? And I am, which is a weird story. I probably shouldn't be a descendant of Hans Michael because so many people with my last name aren't an actual clore, but my branch is. Rah!
Oh, is that the one where there was like the adoption situation?
Yeah, like the baby born on a boat. Yeah, the first American person with my last name was. We actually share a first and last name, but he was born on a boat on the way over.
I found an aunt that I was never supposed to have. There's that.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, my grandpa's a hoe.
I mean, I feel like my 5th great-grandfather is a great-grandfather I shouldn't have and am bummed that I have because it's Joseph Smith. Like, I am the 5th great-grandson of Joseph Smith. Yeah. Yeah. I am I am his 5th great-grandson. It is weird. In Ancestry.com, the Book of Mormon was submitted as an official family document.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
And kind of interesting, though. I mean, I have two very, very different sides. I have one side who, that family comes from Irish descent, and the women in that family kind of led this tirade against the people trying to bring Christianity and Catholicism into Ireland. One of them used to make like an aqua tofana kind of ordeal, and she would just start poisoning men.
Oh, man.
Killing them.
Oh, man.
And then on the other side, I have a bishop. So.
Oh, that's cool, though.
Yeah. I'm like, we've been at odds for a long time.
That's cool, though. Well, hey, there's a reason for the season, so I hate to interrupt, but it's cryptid roulette time.
We picked one. Are you ready?
You did. Wait, yes. Who do we got?
The Ozark Howler.
The Ozark Howler. I don't even know anything about this, but let me tell you right now. Smash. Smash.
Or the Nightshade Bear. Some people call it the Nightshade Bear. If you're my great-grandmother who was born and raised in the Appalachians, you called it the Hoo-Hoo.
Oh, and it's called the Ozark Howler?
The Ozark Howler. I left you a link in the VC text chat.
Oh, okay. I just did.
I got you.
Ooh, we got a video from Speakeasy, too. Hold on.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Let's check out the Ozark Howler, guys. Yes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
First off, calm down, friend.
We went into this way too calm for him.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. That was going to be my energy when I get to see what this cryptid looks like, because I am convinced
chill stream.
Yeah, and I'll I'm here to see if I'm going to smash this thing, dude. It's a smash or pass with all of them, and I'm already saying based on the name alone, smash.
If you're calling it the Nightshade Bear, pass. But if you're going to call it the Hoo-Hoo or the Ozark Howler, smash.
Hold up. Nightshade Bear? Hold up.
Yeah, I call it the Nightshade Bear. It's got a bunch of different names.
If something approached me and they're like, that's the Nightshade Bear, I'd be like, smash. I'm going to do it.
Run.
Smash.
Of cryptids.
I love this guy's voice. I'm cool with it. Look, I'm no one to talk on.
Of cryptids.
I'm nobody. I have done no video essays. But man, I'm going to deduct a point from your voice, but I'm excited to learn about the Howler.
This is one of our oldest. Tonight, we're going to be switching a couple of things up. Sadly, and to many viewers' dismay, we've decided to eliminate our cryptid series entirely. Sorry, we just wanted to build the suspense there. What we meant to say was...
What? Don't clickbait me, friend. What?
Rude.
We've decided to eliminate our cryptid series entirely in favor of merging it into an exciting new series. And if the playlist that's been there for months now didn't already give this away, we're talking about our new-ish series, Cryptids, Classifications, and more. In this new take on our classic research, we'll continue to cover those unknown creatures of myth and legend, but we'll also be expanding to all classifications of paranormal beings. This will include different classifications of ghosts, demons, religious idols, pagan deities.
Say word? Okay. I'm into
sprites, and much, much more. We'll also be focusing on lore surrounding said beings, as well as any rumored means of dispatching them. Sounds pretty fun, right? Oh, and for those of you who have been asking, we will be redoing our original cryptids videos in this new format in due time. Tonight, however, for the first-ish video in our new-ish series, we've decided to dig into a creature that's been digging into...
He sounds like me. This is the first-ish episode in a new-ish series. Guys, what do we call it?
Really digging into that ish.
Yeah.
He really is, yeah.
He's like, what is this going to be, guys? This might be a new series, who knows?
People in North America for centuries
I relate to that
now.
hard.
A beast that lurks in the deepest forests, stalking campers, hunters, hikers, and nature enthusiasts alike. Some know this thing as the hoo-hoo, others the nightshade bear, but many shiver to its most...
We can't call it the hoo-hoo, guys. We can't.
Yes, we can. My great-grandma called it the hoo-hoo.
No.
Mark, it's the hoo-hoo.
That's what I call lady parts when that's like I call lady parts to a little kid. Like if you're one of my little ladies, if you're my niece or something, it's like, hey, you know, if I'm I potty trained my nieces, so
yeah,
you know.
I mean, once you understand the Ozark Howler, maybe it might make sense to call it the hoo-hoo.
Oh.
I'm trying. I'm gripping real hard.
Okay. Maybe I'm okay with it then.
I see those
commonly implemented name, the terrifying, the infamous Ozark Howler.
Oh, the infamous.
The Ozark Howler is said to be a fearsome and frightening creature sighted most frequently throughout Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and even some portions of northern Texas.
Me already calling it the hoo-hoo makes sense.
Sprouted up, though more.
Yeah, it is funny. I wonder how. That's always what I've called. You know, like if I'm potty training one of my nieces, like, hey, make sure to wipe your hoo-hoo. Wipe your hoo-hoo.
That makes sense.
That a hoo-hoo and a doodle. Boys have a doodle. Yeah. Girls have a hoo-hoo. That's how it goes in my house.
Rarely, as far as in northern Canada and parts of Mexico. The Howler has been described as being roughly the size of a large bear, sometimes bigger, and is sporting a thick, muscular body, stocky limbs, and shaggy hair. The Howler is said to stand anywhere from 4 to 8 feet in height when on all fours, but has been observed growing substantially when it's on its hind legs, almost unrealistically. The beast has been observed walking, sneaking, and...
Oh, so you mean it can be a tall gal or a small gal? Oh. Ooh. Smash.
Even sprinting in a bipedal manner often, and many claim it is perfectly capable of maintaining this stance at whim. The Howler is also often described as donning antlers of a deer, elk, or ram's horns, as having the tail of a lion or bull, and is...
Look at this hyper detailed drawing.
This was done by somebody who still calls it a hoo-hoo.
It reminds me of the leprechaun that's like in the hood. I just want to know where to go at. It reminds me of the where to go at sketch.
We saw a leprechaun.
We saw a leprechaun in the tree. Whoever saw a leprechaun say yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Seemingly staring into one's very soul with glowing red eyes. Many locals claim that stories and reports emitting the horns or antlers are usually more than likely due to fear in the moment, coupled with a lack of perception it brings. Chillingly, despite its massive size, the Ozark Howler is said to be able to move with supernatural speed, swiftness, and precision, and can hunt with a total silence while leaving no tracks or traces behind. That's right, when this thing sets its sights on someone, there are very few capable of withstanding its assault. Fortunately, locals and cryptozoologists advise there is a way to avoid crossing its path entirely. Often, the first and only warning sign that one is about to enter the domain of the Howler is, well, its howl. The Ozark Howler, rightfully named, has become notorious for the haunting shriek it emits, with many describing it as unearthly, terrifying, and sounding like a mixture of deep demonic voices, bestial growls, and the pained screams of a woman.
Hey.
Sounds like a cougar.
Yeah, smash. Yeah, all right.
Several more experienced outdoorsmen have likened it as almost similar to a wolf's howl or an elk's bugle, but just wrong. While hearing the howler's cry is a great warning and will probably cause you to soil your pants, turn about face, and walk directly back to your home, avoiding a grisly, claw-laden fate, some locals claim that it's kind of a double-edged sword, and that those who hear the howl will be marked and doomed to an early and horrific death. So why aren't there a ton of horrible woodland deaths being reported in the aforementioned states on the daily? Have witnesses who have heard its howl really all perished afterwards? And if this thing leaves no survivors, then like a certain famous Hollywood pirate ship, where do all the stories come from? Oh, and just what exactly...
I don't think the howler would kill me.
No.
Not if I understand it. I feel like I could change him. Smash.
is the howler? Experts and researchers have arrived at several hypotheses. The first hypothesis is that the howler is a singular spiritual being. Backing this theory up is the fact that to date, only one howler has ever been sighted at any one time, and reports of younger howlers have never actually surfaced. Many jumping on the spiritual being train add that the howler may actually be a Wendigo, skinwalker, or the spirit of a black magic practitioner from native lore, whose energy is somehow tied to the earth in these areas. Regarding the lack of reports of attacks or deaths associated with the howler, many who follow this claim believe that most of the deaths would be caused by the aftermath of hearing the howler's cry and being marked with its curse, and that, disturbingly, most would be chalked up to common accidents far away from the forest. The second major hypothesis is that the howler is a physical flesh and blood creature, possibly something hybridized between several species from the area, to form a sort of superspecies. The theory goes that the superspecies would possess the intellect and skills required to keep hidden from the ravages of humanity. Those boarding this thought train attribute the lack of attacks reported to the fact.
So it might just be some hyper-evolved super species. Smash.
Perhaps.
Does that mean it's xeno-compatible with me?
That, well, there haven't
Can I have a
been.
baby with the
To
howler?
break it down, most jumping on this theory speculate the howler is actually a docile creature lacking aggression entirely, and possibly even sustaining on an herbivorous diet. A third hypothesis tells the creature is actually just a rare species thought to be extinct. A fourth that it's nothing more than a mass delusion. A fifth that it's some mutated saber-toothed tiger, and the theories go on and on and on. Surprisingly, cryptozoologists and experts in the fields of paranormal research.
You want me to rewind that? Do we need to hear that again? Let's go back a little bit.
Most jumping on this theory speculate the howler is actually a docile creature lacking aggression entirely, and possibly even sustaining on an herbivorous diet. A third hypothesis tells the creature is actually just a rare species thought to be extinct. A fourth that it's nothing more than a mass delusion. A fifth that it's some mutated saber-toothed tiger, and the theories go on and on and on.
Mutated saber-toothed tiger? Smash. What? Why? There's no world where I don't want to.
Surprisingly, cryptozoologists and experts in the fields of paranormal research have traced
This is
roots
making
from
me
these
homesick.
legends back to ancient Greek times, circa the 12th to 9th centuries BC. Many believe the story of the howler and similar creatures may have been inspired, or bred rather, by the mythological creature Cerberus,
What?
a multi-headed dog said to guard the gates to the underworld
Why
to
would-
prevent the living from entering and the dead from escaping. Later, another.
So wait, the guardian of the gates of hell made some babies and just left them in the Ozarks, or is he implying that the gates of hell are in the Ozarks?
I mean, either
Gates of
one
Hell
is
or the Garden of Eden. Come on now.
Ooh,
And we have, we do have Devil's Den
we do.
around
Yeah.
the area. Guys, I know I've been hyper focusing on it so far, this cryptid roulette, but smash. Even if it's a child of Cerberus. Actually, double smash if it's a child from of Cerberus.
I was gonna say.
That. I'm about that.
For example, thought to be in the same family of legends leading to the howler sprouted up in ancient Celtic societies circa the 5th to 2nd centuries BC, and according to some, possibly earlier. Then later again still, in Welsh mythology, this version of the legend centered around Cwnanwn, or the spectral hounds of the beyond.
Cwnanwn.
The hounds were said to be used by all-powerful forces
Somewhat
to escort
tangential
souls
fun
from
fact.
Earth to the other world. It's unknown whether these beliefs held any link to
Tangential
The
fun fact.
oldest myth that we believe to exist is that of the hellhound.
Oh, really?
They suspect it goes back to the Ice Age.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we've been hella scared of vicious big dogs for a long time. It's just in our genes. It's funny that it's also an animal that we've tamed. But it makes sense that we would hyperfixate on taming them if we thought they were, if prehistoric us thought that they were, potentially something you could worship. And they are, hellhound. Even Fenrir. You have the big evil wolves all through prehistoric civilization. Huh. Smash.
Directly, or were perhaps inspired later by Norse legends of Fenrir, son of Loki.
Oh, dang.
The topic is still under heavy debate today, but in our opinions, it could be a little bit of both, as throughout history, the Celtic were subject to hearing both Norse and Roman legends, with branches of Celtic civilization actually settling in Rome, namely the Valley of Po. The stories didn't stop here, however, and over time, more tales of magical black dogs of unnatural size began sprouting up all across Europe, including the Scottish Cúsith, the Irish Cúsid, and of course, British hellhounds. Naturally, as America was colonized, many of these chilling bedtime tales followed overseas to the new continent, morphing into different things entirely. It's thought that over time, these legends were merged together, possibly even with several native legends, and slowly formed into the Ozark Howler that we all love to fear today.
Yeah.
Of course, some claim that these literary connections are all complete hogwash and that the Howler is something new entirely, possibly a demon summoned by witches hiding throughout the Ozarks, or a science experiment gone wrong. We may never truly know, and as the only way to study the Howler could lead to one's immediate...
I've heard what sounds like timber wolves or like a stray feral pack of huskies or something out in the Ozarks. So, I mean, I've heard howls that definitely weren't coyote yaps. And come to think of it, I've never actually laid eyes on big wolves out in the Ozarks. I've never really thought about that.
I left you a link in the VC text chat, which is allegedly, somebody getting the Ozark Howler on audio.
On audio?
The hell?
Oh.
I have seen a coyote the size of a wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've seen...
my property.
Okay, so you've seen some bigger coyotes. See, I've seen average to, I suppose, larger, like the leader of a pack coyote, but I've never seen like wolves that necessarily match some of the howls I've heard out in the Ozarks. And I guess I've always just considered myself thankful that I didn't encounter any of those giant dogs, because I've definitely heard like what sounds like a pack of huskies or something, like, and not all the time. Like it's almost like midwinter quiet stuff. Like, I don't know, weird. This video was shot on April 17th, 2012 at 1:24 a.m. This apparently
sounds like some wild fun stuff to me.
Yeah. Let's see what... Get the hell here. Everything he's looking at here looks familiar. I don't know. Have we been in this neighborhood? Have we been on this cul-de-sac?
Probably.
This is like the classic Ozarks cul-de-sac in the suburbs. Listen to the dogs. The two sound different. Well, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, it's very much so in the wind.
Yeah, that didn't actually even meter as much. But that's okay. That's okay. We will find this. Ooh, there's a creepypasta too that we can check out about
Immediate or prolonged and agonizing demise? We're really not itching to find out. The first recorded sightings of the Howler specifically occurred in the mid-1900s and were first documented through a series of oral stories and first-hand encounters. With
some old Appalachian cats in overalls sitting at the farmer's market like, you hear that howling last night? Like, boy, I saw it had horns. Like, it had horns. It was a wolf so big it had horns. It wears goats. That wolf was so big.
It wears goats.
It has plumage that it put on.
Witnesses completely unrelated. The legendary Daniel Boone himself is said to have had at least 2 run-ins with this beast. The first in 1810 when...
I didn't know that. I didn't know this is like a legendary pioneering cryptid. This mess with Daniel Boone?
hunting just north of what is now Cuba, Missouri. Here, Daniel claimed in a letter to his sister-in-law that he'd shot and wounded a creature that he could not identify. His second encounter with the creature occurred in 1816 while hunting the Platte River. Incredulously, it's said Boone killed the beast in this encounter, later having it stuffed and put on display in his trophy room.
Well, where is
while
it?
Many accounts support this story, nothing has ever been found or verified. In the late 1800s to early 1900s, a church in Arkansas depicted the Howler in a piece of stained glass window art.
That's weird.
Show me.
Yeah, where is that stained glass? Where's that church? We got to go to that church. What?
Justin, let's go.
Whoa. Whoa.
The community
I'm
found this
down,
odd,
let's
but the
go.
church suggested they simply wanted to commemorate local folklore beliefs. Oddly, the window was closely protected until a new preacher not supportive of anything outside of Christianity was hired and ordered this strange piece removed. As local legend and historic accounts have it, no sooner had the piece of glass been replaced when the church suddenly burst into flames and burned to the ground.
So the church doesn't exist anymore. All right, we can't go to that church. That's a little deflating. It burned to the ground from the curse of the Howler. You bring up the Howler, shit burns down.
Sounds like some Green Man shit.
Oh, crazy. Oh my god. Oh, an issue happened with the recording.
Oh no.
Oh, and I can't multi-record. Well, we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. All right, I'm going to keep going as if this didn't happen and just download it off of Twitch later.
Might as well.
So, let's just act like that didn't happen.
It's said the fire was started by the Howler, angered by the preacher's lack of respect. In 1946, shortly after World War II had ended, a group of veterans moved into the area outside of Red Oak, Oklahoma, where they set to work building their new homes. As the story goes, some of the homes crossed over into the Howler's grounds. It's said the beast relentlessly attacked, terrorized, and stalked the families of the houses until they moved away. Through the 1950s, a series of hunters reported what they described as a large, black, goat-like creature with the face of a predatory animal, maybe a bear or a wolf.
That's a Baphomet.
In 1976, a man
just a
claimed to have
goat,
shot
but it's a
Howler in
Baphomet.
Texas. In the 1980s, a truck driver who'd pulled over for the night claimed to have sighted a black, cat-like creature with a long tail, shaggy fur, horns, and red glowing eyes crossing the road. Unfortunately, through the
I had like an image of like a big overgrown panther with horns, and I gotta say, smash. Smash.
90s, a monkey wrench was thrown into the research and investigation of the Howler when an undisclosed university student led scientists on a wild goose chase for weeks, before admitting it was all a ploy to see if he could convince scientists that he'd actually had a Howler in his possession. Yikes. In 1998, a Howler was supposedly killed near Branson, Missouri, but no evidence was ever disclosed. In 2011, locals to the Jasper, Arkansas area reported a series of Howler sightings, some very terrifying. In 2015, the Howler was spotted by a group of hikers near Devil's Den State Park in Arkansas.
There we go.
In 2016, astoundingly, wildlife officers responded to a Howler sighting near Springdale, Arkansas, where the beast was seen darting quickly across the road and into the tree line.
It's going to our
Most recently,
hometown.
The Howler was sighted in 2018 when a group of walkers was making their way along the trail within Bray Conservation Area in Rolla, Missouri. The entire party reported that they first sighted.
I don't know about, dude. I've done a lot of acid in Rolla, Missouri.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I've been pretty high in those woods, so I've seen a lot of stuff, heard a lot of stuff out in Rolla. I want to know who.
Is that close to where Camp Zoe was?
It's exactly where Camp Zoe was. That's
Okay,
guarantee
makes
where
sense.
they're talking about. These people are probably on the bluff out in that national park. Like, oh wow, I hear that. We hear the Howler. Let's call it in. It's like, nah, you hear a lot of stuff out there. I don't know. It's not. It's sometimes more about what you're going through than what's out there.
Sighted a dark shape low to the ground ahead of them on the trail. When they stopped to shine their lights at it, it rose up, standing much taller than several members who were 6 feet in height. All described it was disturbingly quiet and graceful for how large the creature was. Suddenly, it launched itself into the air with what seemed little effort, cutting and disappearing from sight. As of 2019, there have been no notable sightings, which really shouldn't make you feel any better, as that probably means the Howler could be anywhere, and that we're probably all overdue for another encounter. So if you find yourself wandering through the forest at night, feel a sudden chill, and hear that rumbling shriek pierce the darkness, remember old Daniel Boone, and draw your highest caliber gun or get to running, because nothing short of a perfect shot will save you from the grips of the dreaded Ozark Howler. Thank you everyone for tuning in for our research surrounding the
All right. Well, in summary on the Ozark Howler so far, smash. I think I might have heard this one. I'm pretty convinced on this one. I've seen some spooky stuff out in the Ozarks. Arianthe really hit it with this one. That's like, I'm doing all yays. We are firm believers in the Chef Dog keeps ending up in my yays, by the way, so this is gonna look weird, but yeah, Chef Dog and yay. Yes, I think there's something to that one. I've experienced things that just don't make sense. Again, I've heard animals that I've never seen out in the Ozarks, and everybody who grows up there kind of has a similar experience. But I think I might have been near the Howler. I'm not dead. I'm not cursed, I don't think. I might be cursed. My body's pretty garbage. But what if that's some of the things that ail me, is some kind of curse from the Howler? Angry at my colonial genes. My horrible, horrible colonizer ancestors. Fascinating. Thank you, Arianthe. Thank you. All right, that's Cryptid Roulette. Now we get to move on to whatever we want, because we can still go for another hour, and then I got to figure out how to actually clip stuff today. Which means I'm going to save, which means we get to do, we did 2 already, Arianthe. We did the Lake City Quiet Pills, and we did a Cryptid Roulette. So, successful day at the shop.
Okay, now I can get it to work. So I posted a link for you in the VC text chat. It's something I wanted to bring to Justin's attention.
Oh.
Because he's going to open his mouth in awe whenever he sees it.
Okay, what do we have here? The Ozark Howler from unlockozarks.com. Ooh, look at this art.
So those are our sightings.
Smash. Smash.
Yeah, if you go to the map at the top, Justin, if you're paying attention. Are you paying attention to me? Pay attention to me.
I'm here.
Look at me.
If you scroll in, if you look, the sightings are in a big O circle.
Yeah.
And in the middle of that is Mammoth Springs. Mammoth Springs has a spring that runs directly back. If you follow it backwards, it goes to the Mammoth Cave system.
Okay, so this thing has a clear... I was going to say
And
with
we're
the...
right back around to the Mammoth Cave system.
And here we are again.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you click on that really dark navy one, almost black one down at the bottom, there. No, not that one.
The Fulton County
really,
Courthouse.
Like black or something almost. Oh, now it's covered.
Over here?
No, it's right. Scrolling a little bit more. That one right there.
What?
I'm pointing to it, but I can't.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't...
That one.
I don't actually... Oh, Mammoth Spring
Mammoth
Depot.
Spring Depot, yeah.
Ah. Okay. It seems like it migrates around, though. Like it hits this little mountainous range here, and then...
Well, that's the Mark Twain National Forest. I live right on the backside of that.
And then it arcs right up into Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Hey, I would believe that the gates of hell are in Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd believe that. Okay, and then it circles. It specifically has, yeah, like the bottom arc of its like migration pattern is right here. Like Cherokee Village is here in the middle, which is near Mammoth. I bet you the people of Cherokee Village have some crazy stories about multiple cryptids. Centerville. There's Centerville. Okay. Salem. Okay, right here down in between Salem and Winona, I've camped through here a lot. I did not know I specifically had all of my psychedelic experiences right by the Mammoth Cave system.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Bing bong.
There's also a level of like vibrational it's different there. That area is tuned a little different. It's if you're going to have a mind opening experience, that's not a bad spot. You know, you got the Mark Twain Forest right there too. Boy, yeah, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been off my tits high in in that area.
Off my tits high.
Like really high in that area. Okay. Yeah. Anybody listening out there, I'm from this area. Boom, I'm circling it on the screen. Northwest Arkansas. Again, from really close to where we're talking about, I think I've experienced this cryptid, at least heard it. I think
I'm not super far from here. I mean, as we're speaking, I'm like right on the back side of that.
Yeah. How fascinating. This, but a migrational pattern like this implies a pack. I mean, you know what I mean? There's more than one of these. This is a species, I'd say. I don't think it's a lone cryptid. I think there's more than one. And who knows what, you know, it almost has feline attributes in some stories, goat-like, wolf-like.
I've always heard it told very feline, very like Black Panther-y, but if you look at the migrational pattern, that would make sense.
See, that's why I'm thinking like it could be like one of the big black cats, maybe one that's, I don't know, maybe deformed or alpha in a way that we've never seen a cat go. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are the long-term effects of a jungle cat in the Ozarks? What does that do to a jungle cat? We know that like pigs go and turn into hogs, like they become this like boar-like animal. They grow more hair, they grow tusks. We know
in like a matter of
Oh, what was that? Just in a matter of what? Really quick, right?
Yeah, like a week to a month.
Yeah. So let's say generations on generations, we have stories going back 100 years about these black cats in this area, and I would imagine they came over maybe with colonizers or like wealthy people looking to have big cats, maybe big cat reserves or like private owners from way back when. But you know, the story is that those black cats aren't native to that area, and if that is the case, maybe this is a situation where 100 years of evolution have built an interesting new type of panther. Maybe a panther with horns. Weird. That's probably the weirdest theory that's most unlikely, but you know, again, I don't think there's a theory involving the Ozark Howler that I don't want to smash. I want to get I'd clap this cryptid's cheeks big time. Okay, well this was perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Well, it's Justin's suggestion.
Yeah. Let's do another cryptid roulette next time you guys are free and we're all in here together. I'm going to be doing the live streams on Twitch, so if you're watching this on YouTube, it's because I've posted it later and I probably already edited this part out. So what up, future me?
Don't edit it out now.
Yeah. Oh, I'll leave it in now. Hey, you guys, you want to be a part of the live situation from now on? You got to be on Twitch.
Twitch.tv / Merc TV official.
Yeah. Merc TV official. Oh, okay. Well, let's take a quick break, Ski, and come back for just a bit and maybe figure something else out to do.
All right, Justin's going to take over. I've got to go do ghost tours.
Oh, goodness. Well, you know what? Let's actually bring this down then. I got to do editing and music and all kinds of art. So,
sounds good to me.
Yeah. It was a pleasure, guys.
Yeah, I'll probably take a nap, so.
Oh, you better get some rest, brother.
Take a sick boy nap.
Get to feeling better, my dude.
Call me if you need anything.
Oh.
Will do.
I'll throw it at your front door like I'm
I'm glad she's close. I'm
Like
glad you
you're a
guys
leper.
are closer in proximity to each other than you were.
Well, I
when you
think
were in
us
Oklahoma.
being closer in proximity to each other is how he got sick.
Well, yeah, but at least you're there for each other. I didn't.
At least I had fun, and I wasn't just at home all weekend moping.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. I haven't allowed him to do that yet, and so I'm trying.
That's yeah. It warms my heart that you guys are closer to each other, like location wise.
Yeah.
Also, when I come visit, it'll be easier to just come see everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Later, gang.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Oh, everybody out there in Twitch world, thank you so much. Let's hope I can actually bounce some of today over to YouTube and make a productive day out of it. Hop over to YouTube today, guys. They're gonna drop some Fall Guys playthrough, and then tomorrow will be Cryptid Roulette from today. So you guys will see the flow. You guys will see the workflow and how it works. You guys take it easy. And love you, Deb, my ride or die.